Yo, yo, yo. Man, we out here, man, live with Soul. Y'all know about Soul, man. You know, we about to just chop it up like we on this like the regular phone call, man. So if you ain't, hold up, let me turn this up. So if you ain't ready for just like some real talk, man, you ain't really trying to fuck with us. I'm telling you. Hold up, I think you just popped in. Immortal mind. Okay, here he is. There he is. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hey, if you just chopped in, man, tell me. Hey, so
big homie, what's going on, bro?
Hey, we out here, man.
Man, I need to be in Florida right now, bro.
Man, we out here, boy. What's good with you, man? How your day go?
Man, life is good, man. It's been bro, I ain't gonna lie, man. It's been the last couple of weeks. Let me get my phone straight. I'm gonna tell you something, bro. I respect people who this whole getting kids ready for school type setup, bro. That ain't no game, man. That's a full-time job, bro. Like I ain't gonna lie, man. I and my son grown. He kind of do some stuff in his own, and it still be kicking my butt. It's like I got a second job, man.
What you mean though? Cause you like a single dad or what?
Yeah. So like I've been having going to all these conference calls and mandatory meetings and man, it's crazy. I said, man, when I was a kid, you just dropped me off at school one day, get everything knocked out, and then you in school. Now no more, man. You gotta do all kind of stuff, man. Be on all kind of apps and all kind of stuff. It's crazy, man.
Is it because, is it because of what's going on, or is it just
it's just life now. It's just the way. I mean, I've been out of school forever. I guess it's just changed now, man. It's more stuff going on. I don't know. It's weird, man. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I feel. Is this your first time? Like, what's he, a freshman now or what?
Yeah, freshman high school, but middle school was a little better. It wasn't as bad as this, man. I didn't have to make 2 mandatory calls. Conference calls, 2 mandatory parent meetings. Had him up there for all kind of stuff, and that ain't the hard part. The hard part is all these emails flying around that I got to be like on it, download apps. I'm like, dude, it's like somebody needs to send me a check, man. It's like while I'm paying taxes and I still got to do all this, man. It's crazy though,
world, man.
Yeah, man.
It's a new world, man. It's changed right in front of our eyes, man. It's never gonna be the same, man.
Nah, how everything going in your world, man?
Man, I can't complain, man. I'm thankful, man. I'm thankful. You know what I mean? Like, I'm navigating these waters, man. These new waters. You know what I'm saying? But it's exciting, man. It's so exciting. You know what I'm saying? I know we gonna dig into it today, but I was actually listening to one of our lives. It was like shit, man. It might have been 2 years ago.
Oh dang.
But it's like we was talking about this. Like you got an echo. What you on, man?
Is it an echo?
Yeah, a little echo.
Hold up, let me try something. I don't know why I would be. Let me see something real quick, man.
What you got?
I might change phones. Hold up.
Like,
give me 5 seconds.
It's like every time you say something, it's like a big echo. Like I hear myself talk. What's going on, everybody, man? I appreciate y'all joining, man. Holla at me and Soul tonight, man, while we chop it up. Ask your questions, man. I got a lot of questions that came in, too. So, there he is.
Hey, is that better?
I mean, yeah, that's a lot better, man.
I changed phone. Maybe the phone, man. I don't know.
1,000% better. Now, I appreciate you doing that.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm just thankful, man. Just trying to stay in that, like you talked about, man. Just stay in that frequency, man. The gratitude and just navigate these new waters out here. You know what I'm saying?
And I think everybody. I think that everybody's kind of going through something different. Like it's different for everybody. Even if it's good, it's different, man. Like you said, it's new waters. It's like every day it's a new day. It's a new experience, man. Like the energy is. And I've said it many times, but the energy is definitely different, It's
Yeah,
different. Pros and cons too, you know.
it's different, man. And I feel like it's. Do you feel like it? Like we always say this, man. Do you feel like it's different because we really like in the thick of it? Like me and you was like we in that shit. Like you know what I'm saying? We like nigga, we never going back to that bullshit ass
Yeah.
world. But you know what I'm saying? Do you feel like that's some globally happening? Or you feel like it's just us because we in this motherfucker like nigga, we trying to get out that cocoon, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's a small percentage of us everywhere, man. Because sometimes I have a conversation with somebody that I just met, and we're having the same type of conversation. So I'm like, man, I know it ain't. It's just certain people feeling it, man. It's just. I don't know if it's empaths. I don't know if it's people on a certain path. But sometimes I can have certain kind of conversations, kind of like what me and you be talking about. If I mention some of that stuff to another brother, and it's just like he just gives me the deer in the head, like, look, man, like I have no idea what you're talking about, and I'm like, man, like everybody doesn't feel this then, you know? It's a weird thing, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously, when we go about our daily life, we see these people kind of still, like,
Yeah,
routine. Like, people still in that,
yeah,
like, routine of
yeah.
work, go home, watch television. Like, let's watch sports, let's do this. Like, it's still routine. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn, how the fuck are y'all still in that routine with all this
comfort,
information
man.
out here?
I think it's comfort, man. I think I mean, it's easy for people to just keep doing the same thing and not really applying their mind to see, like, is there something else I should know? I mean, if you raise being taught a certain thing to be in a certain energy, to think a certain way, it's uncomfortable to come out of that. Like it really is uncomfortable. The only reason a person I think will come out of that is if what they believe and what they're thinking and the way they're moving bothers them. And for me, a lot of stuff that I was raised teaching, it started to bother me, man. Like it really started to bother me. And so I was like, man, I was like, you know, I don't know what truth is, but this can't be it, man. Like this can't be life. Everything that I know, everything that I'm doing, like it don't resonate with something inside of me, man. And this is young. This is preteen. I was like, man, this is, and I'm watching my dad in the pulpit preaching certain energy, preaching certain knowledge, and I was still saying, man, like something ain't right with everything that, you know. And I'm not knocking religion or anything like that, but a lot of stuff that even my old man taught, man, I look at it now, man, you were leading people down a wrong path, man. I just call it what it is, you know. I call it what it is. You know, he didn't know, you know.
Yeah, but
it's just like a lot of people, kind of like when I went live the other day, bro. Man, there's a chunk of people that's in my DM right now that's talking about Antichrist and I'm going to hell and yada yada yada. And I'm like, well, let's chat about it. Let's have a conversation so you know. And they won't hit me back after that. They just want to say I'm going to hell. It's like, bro, he's like, just think, man. And I'm not saying I'm right, but I'm saying, and the only reason I made that, man, talking about, you know, Jesus coming back and all this stuff, not to get people to think of how I think, because everybody should think their own. But I just want people to think. Like at least put something out there to at least shake their brain cells up. Like, you know what? Like he's wrong, but at least this information is going through my brain now. And it has to process. So I got to think about everything I've been doing now, man. You know, it's like, man. And I didn't even want to get into the whole resurrection thing with the brothers, man. That's a whole nother, you know.
Yeah, but it's not like I said, man. It's funny that people will come to your channel and even challenge you. You know what I'm saying? But it's not for everybody. I don't think. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like your vibe attracts your tribe. You know what I'm saying? I know that's cliche, but it's real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Your frequency is going to align you right now with the people that you're supposed to be around. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And as you raise your frequency and your vibration, your level of awareness, then the people that you need to evolve out into this whole nother earth is like you're going to attract. Because right now we need each other, honestly. Like we need, I need you, like, you know what I'm saying, to evolve. I need bricks to evolve. I need my tribe, like right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't do this shit on my own. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so
I agree, man. And to me, it's all about unity, man. Like I think now's the time where, like, this is my thing, man. Like separation is the game plan. Of course, we already have people that are different races, but then when you start chopping everybody down to political parties and religions and this, once you get down to the nuts and bolts, the lowest factor, everybody can look at somebody and find some difference. And that's the ultimate game plan. So, you know, because this is the thing, man. This world would move completely different if there was unity. So, and you got to think, man. You got to think there's one person ruling every 20 million people. You know, so it's like, man, as long as we can keep them divided, you know, it's divide and conquer. As long as we can keep them looking at each other, showing their differences, they'll never come get us because they're too busy looking at each other, saying, you know what, he's white, he's black, he's a Crip, he's a Blood, he's a this, he's a that. As long as you got that going on, the 1% up top that are, you know, that whole conversation can continue to rule, man.
Yeah,
it's a mindset thing, man.
Yeah,
it's the vision, bro. It's the vision, man. That's why, you know. That's why I try to eliminate any division. And, you know, a lot of brothers I don't even like talking about. Like most of them, I don't even talk about politics and religion because those are the main dividers. Like, let's just talk about brotherhood. Let's just talk about love, regardless of what you come from. Regardless, I'm gonna tell you, man. When I was in the military, bro, and this opened my eyes, man. And I made a video on this a long time ago. There was a brother, white guy, Ray, painting a swastika on my door. In AIT, man, and I went to the movie theater, tracked them down, and we battled out, bro. We tossing, bro. Me and Ray became best friends, you know, while I was in the military, man. We went to the desert, we shoulder to shoulder, man, putting rounds down range. You know, we brothers now, man. And it's like, dang, man, like you could have went your whole life hating brothers, and I could have been salty about you painting on my door. But it's like, once me and Ray got cool, I was like, man, there's a lot of walls that could come down. And then I realized why these walls were up. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as we can keep people divided, bro, they got us, man. They got us, man.
Yeah. I mean, I think the main reason that people stay divided is just ignorance, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yep. Ignorance and lack of self-love. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. Like, because I think when you truly love yourself, you can't hate nobody.
No.
Like, it's impossible because really, it's only you here. Like, it's only one of us here, and it's all a part of your imagination. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so if you hating somebody else, you really just projecting that shit, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I do it, you do it, we all do it, because we got parts of us that we unaware of. We got blinders that we can't see. But just having that awareness that it's only me here. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I wanted to talk about, man, because you posted the other day, man, like, and appreciate that anyway. You did a YouTube talking about your frequency. And you was like, man, like, you can't outrun your frequency. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I might have said that shit. I don't know. I appreciate you giving me the quote. But but that's so true. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you cannot outrun your fucking frequency. Like, you are what you are. And like James Allen said, like, you know what I'm saying? Man, he's going to attract what you are. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so speak to that a little bit, man. And as far as because I wanted to talk about, man, like, seek first the kingdom. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm far from religious. I tell everybody that, man. I'm far from religious. But the Bible got some nuggets in it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Man,
But when you say, man, go ahead.
Yeah, so like when a person is trying to outrun their frequency, it's really just them not understanding. It's really them not understanding the manifestation process. Because it's like kind of going back to me trying to lose weight, me trying to get fit. Like if I'm not becoming that person first, and I'm just saying, you know what? Okay, you know, I can see Mr. Infinity over there. I see Derek over there. He's doing this, he's doing that. Let me just simulate what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? And I can do that for a few days or a few weeks. But at some point in time, it's going to go back to where it was because that's not who I am. It's not my frequency. It's not. I'm only simulating in the third dimension of what I'm saying people do. And that's what people do, whether it's grinding, whether it's starting business, whether it's in relationships. That they'll look at the Cosbys and say, okay, you know what? Let me simulate what they're doing. As opposed to, like you said, finding the kingdom or going to the other side to create it. Like everything that's going to stick has to be made on the other side. And I'm gonna tell you, it took me a long time to understand. Like in other words, like a person has to literally become something else before they can even think about the results. It's like if you're trying to get more money in the bank, Don't even go out there and grind. Don't even start a business. Don't even get a side hustle if you haven't become that person first. Like it has to be like you literally have to create it in your mind, go to the fifth dimension and live that. And that energy, that emotion you feel when you're meditating, you have to bottle that up. And when you come back to this third dimension, you have to drink from that bottle all day. Like, you know what? Like, this is who I am. This is who I am. And then when you become that, then it's effortless to do the thing you're trying to achieve because you are that person. You know what I'm
saying? Yeah, for sure. Like 100%. Like, and I did a podcast the other day, man, talking about like everything is like this all our imagination. Everything, the third dimension is the slowest form of creation. Like this is after you done thought it. You know what I'm saying? But your thoughts are first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like Wallace Waddle says, and in Think and Grow Rich, it's a thinking stuff, right? And
yeah, man.
And like this is scientific, man. If you focus a thought for 17 seconds, that's equivalent to 200 hours of physical labor down here on the third dimension.
That's heavy.
If you focus a thought for 34 seconds, that's 2,000 hours of physical work on the third dimension. If you focus a thought for 51 seconds, that's 200,000 hours of physical work on the third dimension. And 68 seconds is the magic number. This fucking scientific, man. 68 seconds is that infinite magic number that is so much things moving for you, orchestrating down here on the third dimension that it's gonna happen. But the thing about it is, it's so right now we so distracted that it's so fucking hard to focus on a thought for a 0.0001 second. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, but just that being said, man, just to piggyback off what you saying, if you create your life from that place, then the game, then you can play a different game, man. You don't got to try to strong arm life no more. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can be at ease, like you say.
Yeah. And you actually, it's almost it's a hack because you really confusing, and I don't want to use the word confusing, but it's you found a loophole in the universe. It's like you've hacked the system. You've bent time almost. Because think about this. But
homie, let me say this, man. That's how we really that's the game we supposed to be playing.
Yeah. That's who we are. You know what I'm saying?
That's we not physical, man. We not. You know what I'm saying? That's what they tricked us into thinking these mechanical bodies out here. Like, you know what I'm saying? We are spirit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Man, we time travelers, man. We time benders, man.
Man, there ain't no space in this shit, man. Like, you can think a thought, and I can pick that bitch up in an instant. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Man, it's that serious. But you know, our bodies and our minds and our energy is so clouded, like we don't even function like we're supposed to. You know, think about a world. Think about a world where there was no internet, no television, no radio, no nothing, just us, nature, and us. Man, we would be a completely different people. The way we communicate would be different, man. We would be able to just sit here and vibe and sense, kind of like animals communicate. You know what I'm saying? Like, animals aren't talking; they're communicating on some frequency stuff, man. We've been in a whole different situation, man. But it's going back to like a lot of people. This is what a lot of people get caught up, man. When they go to that side and create that new version of themselves, they don't come back and become that. And man, I had a good question the other day. I had a one-on-one with a brother, and he was kind of new to all this. He was brand new to this. And he was like, okay, I get what you're saying. And we talked about the video with Neville and Abdullah, when Neville was trying to go to Barbados and all that stuff. So me and his brother went through an hour of talking about the whole process, and he got it. And then he said, what do I do in between times? He said, what do I do? So he said, I understand I need to go over here and create a thing. He said, but when I come back to the third dimension, what do I do in between the time that I create it and the time that I see it? And I said, bro, that's a good question. I said, there is no time. Like that gap you're talking about is not there. I said, it can't be there. I said, because when you're here, I said, if you perceive a gap there, then you're perceiving that you aren't a thing yet. And if you're perceiving that you aren't a thing yet, you're back at square one again. He said, yeah, but what do I do before I see it? And that's when we start talking about the whole Neville thing. I said, you know what? No. I said, when you go and create it, it is. Like, that's your prey. Once you come out of that, there is no point, there is no point where you no longer have it. You have it now. and you can't conduct yourself as if you don't. And I'm not even talking about physical things, cars. I'm talking about peace. If peace is what you want, and I don't care if the bottom is falling out. If you go over there and create a peaceful world, when you come back to this I don't care if the house is on fire. You need to just be in this like, mind over matter type thing. And that's a hard part. But that's a hard part because you have so many people in your ear saying, "Hey, the freaking house is burning, cuz what you gonna do?" You know what I'm saying? You like, the house is not burning, man. And that's the creation process, man.
Yeah, that's so true, man. And I think that's a good story, man. Do you feel like that's the thing of where, I mean, the Bible speaks of faith, man. You got to have faith when you going. You got to, you know what I'm saying? But there's so many Debbie Doubters out here, and the people that you hang around. That's why I say it's so important for me to have you in my life, for me to have Ricks in my life, people that have other believers around me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't talk like this to any old body, man, because they're gonna think that I'm crazy. They're gonna be like, oh man, you don't believe in X, Y, and Z. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's important the people you have in your reality, man. You know what I'm saying? Because your environment,
I agree, man. I agree. Like that's paramount. Like because man, I'm gonna tell you, I can even be in the room, not even talking to people that vibrate different, and I pick up on it. It's like, man, it's like I'm in the same room for so long,
Can't
like
you
I gotta
feel
go
it now,
cleanse
man?
myself.
Can't you walk anywhere and just feel people's energy like strong?
Man, yeah. And if I go to if I go to like a restaurant with like a lot of restaurants here have like club vibes. Like it's a restaurant, but it's like music and people kind of, and man, sometimes I can leave that thing and but for like 2 or 3 days, I gotta go home and just chill solo. Cause that energy's on me, man. And for the longest, I didn't know what that was. I didn't know what it was, man. I said, man, am I just that introverted? Well, I can't. But now it's the energy I'm picking up. Because if I go and get around people with that high vibration, I can feel it. I can feel it for 2 or 3 days, man. And it's like I'm on a wave, man. It's an interesting thing, man. And I just think that like that thinking stuff that Wallace was talking about, I just think that it's heavy right now. But again, I think it's part of the whole cycle, man. Like this is nothing new. Like we're just experiencing, like the same thing they went through in 1917 through 1919. We're going through it right now. This is exactly
what's that?
Like just the world kind of resetting itself. Kind of like like the other day I was talking about how people go through transitions. The awareness, then they kind of understand that something's not right, and then they go into the separation mode or silence, and then they have a choice to either go toward the awakening, or they can look back and see all the people and say, you know what, no, I don't want to leave my people behind, right? So I think that's a phase that everybody goes through. But now I think the universe is putting everybody in that stage. Like in 2018, 2019, where everybody was kind of just happy-go-lucky, but then everybody was like, man, I feel something happening. So everybody kind of just paused and was observing the world. And in 2020, that Rona set everybody down. It was like, yeah, people are still, social media, Netflix and chilling, but at least everybody was at home chilling. And they were just giving everybody time to say, you know what, let me observe my world. And I think now we're going to the part where it's like people are either getting on this boat and going down the right path, or people are going to stay behind in this aloof type mindset, man. Yeah. And if you look, it's happened every 100 years. It's like the exact same pattern. The exact same pattern.
Do you think? I mean, I don't know. I'm probably biased. I'm living this my ego. This might be my ego talking, right? But just bear with me. Like, do you feel like, man, people had this type of opportunity we got right now, though, man? I'm like, damn, I feel like so privileged to have this type of opportunity to like play in a world that like the knowledge the downloads I'm picking up and the knowledge that I'm getting right now, I'm like, damn, like,
yeah.
I'm sure people had it, like, you know what I'm saying? But it seems like it's coming. Like, if you don't pick up this knowledge now, you're gonna be like, you're gonna have so much upheaval, you're gonna get plucked off the planet. Like, you're gonna be so miserable, so sick, so just dead. Like, basically, I don't feel like you can survive in the illusion mindset no more.
Yeah, I think I think we have an advantage because when you look at like the internet, when you look at like the tools we have, for one, we got tools we can you can wipe out the middleman now. I mean, you look at stuff like I mean, you look at the world, man, like Uber and look at like Airbnb. It's like it's wiped out so much of the middleman, so people can move different now. That's one. And two, we have access to knowledge. A lot of the knowledge that we talk about just in general right now, like man, this stuff was forbidden 100 years ago. Like man, like
this secret society shit right here.
Yeah,
for real.
like the stuff that we can go to Barnes and Nobles and pick up in a book now, you can even talk about it. You know what I mean? Like it was like no, like this is so it is different. But when I think about it, so like right now, I feel like man, we have the best opportunity in the world. But when I think about it, in another 100 years, when we're gone, the people then that are going through the same thing, they will look at us and be like, man, like they didn't have an opportunity. Like whatever life is like then, they're gonna say, man, like how did they survive? When we're looking at it right now, like man, we got the internet, we got this. So back then, of course they didn't have what we have now, but I think back then, like what we're calling like the entrepreneurial spirit now, I think it was the standard back then. I think most people had their own jobs, whether it was farming, whether it was a metal worker. You know, I think most people had that independent. So I think they had their own advantages. You know.
Yeah. I mean, obviously they had their own. I'm just kind of talking for more of like a metaphysical, spiritual, like New Earth type stuff. Like I don't know. Like I mean, obviously the ancient Egyptians and obviously like Atlantis or like obviously like these like I don't know far off where they like we built it, destroyed it, built it, destroyed it. But I just feel like this is a whole global awakening right now. Like you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like motherfucker, if you don't get on the boat, like I think you was talking about that, man. I think you was talking about. I was listening to that Power Circle. You was I was listening to it today, and you was talking about Noah. Kind of like this is that kind of similar to talk to that a little bit.
Like I really think that's where we are. You have some people talking about spirituality now. People just talking about like, hey, you know, like it's time to change your mindset. Like the other day on the Power Circle, I was like, bro, like I know a lot of us. Everybody has their own.
Hold up, real quick. So this motherfucker said you got us saying a lot of good things, but also a lot of your group parts from the spirit of Antichrist. Man, get the fuck off my page, man.
What are you talking about, man? Mike, when he chop,
I don't know, like, but if you ain't feeling me, man, go ahead. You know what I mean? Go listen to TD Jakes, bro. Like you know.
Of the Antichrist. What's his name? Purpose Driven 513. Speak on it, but I done got 50,000 DMs about Antichrist, but ain't nobody going in on it. Like somebody come to me.
Listen, TD Jakes. Hey, listen. Like, let me say this. Like, listen. The spirit of God is discipline, self-control, integrity, focus. It's an energy. Heaven is a vibration. Like it's an energy. It's not a fucking like whatever you want to think it is. And so all these preachers, all these whoever you evangelists, you feel like that are speaking the word of God, if they not disciplined, if they don't have self-control, if you can't look at them and see if they not if they just talking like this and not walking the walk, you listen to a hustler. Like, you know what I'm saying? You listen to a fucking hustler. So if you want to go listen to a hustler, you listen to a hustler. You know what I'm saying? But we trying to walk the walk. Like we just not talking this shit though. Like you know what I'm saying? So
it's a difference.
If you want to go fuck with TD Jakes or Creflo Dollar or whoever the fuck you think is talking, you know what I mean? You want to hear, like, go do that. But like, you know what I'm saying? Let us believe the fuck we want to believe.
Yeah. Facts.
But anyway, man, like, you know what I'm saying? I just had to address that because I be getting that a lot too. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I don't got time for that shit. We trying to go to a whole new wave of reality.
The thing is, with the world doing what it is, you can't move like the world has been moving the last whatever years, man. Because this new world won't like you won't succeed. You won't survive spiritually with that old mindset. You won't do it, man. You can't do it.
You think something outside of it's called mysticism. Mysticism is when you feel like something outside of you has control of your reality. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
no longer take 100% for everything that happens in your dream, 100% to everything that happens in your reality. You know what I'm saying? You are a slave, a sheep in just sleep. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's something that's called mysticism. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, I be getting so many people to be hit me like that. I just be like, man, so sorry for my rant, bro.
No.
But yeah, so
Purpose said, he said, you brothers are deceived. That's funny. I like listening to it though, man. I like just kind of, because it confirms to me, like, I'm like, good. I'm like, because if everybody agree with this, then somebody ain't right. Like, I need to see them other people saying,
yeah,
I'm like, there you go.
you ain't gotta agree with me, man. But just like, you know what I'm saying, keep it moving.
Yeah, I agree. Like, why be here? You know what
Feel
I'm
me? Just
saying?
keep it moving.
Like, where's your tribe? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I know I got a lot to work on. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm not
Of course.
perfect, man. You know what I'm saying? I
Very
know I
well.
got a lot more, you know what I'm saying, reaching to do to reach that Christ-like energy. Like, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
but
I
yeah,
forgot what
man.
we talking about, man. I forgot what we was talking about now.
Yeah, I don't know, bro.
Who's on? Oh yeah, we was on the whole Noah thing, man.
Yeah.
Like, like,
Talk
like,
about that.
like that's what I really think is happening. Like a lot of stuff that we read in the Bible, a lot of people are looking at it, as far as they're looking for it to play out, like it in the third dimension. Like, but a lot of the stuff is symbolism, man. And I think that's what's taking place. I think there are certain people talking certain truths, and a lot of people are just like, man, like we don't see this change you're talking about. Like when he was like, bro, it's gonna rain, like it's gonna flood, and they were like, man, we don't even see clouds. Like, what are you talking about? So when me and you were talking about certain things like we're talking about, people are just sitting back like nah, I don't. But when the world makes this shift, and the thing is, this world is making this shift very slowly, like, almost like a frog in the water. So that's why people aren't seeing it. But when they come down and the world is a certain way, and I don't know what that way will be, but it'll show itself. Then people are gonna be like, oh shit, I missed the boat. I missed the boat. Like the doors are closed, and now all them things those brothers were talking about, I get it now, and they're gonna be in this flood or this prison, but it's gonna be a mental and spiritual prison. You know what I'm saying? That's why, man. All these zombie movies, bro, it's a depiction of the world to come, man. Man, this I don't know. I just don't understand how people don't take this stuff serious. Like I love
Yeah,
entertainment. I
I just
love
think
all
a
that
lot of
stuff.
people still brainwashed though, man. I think a lot of people are still have those old like just stuck to the illusion. You know what I mean? The illusion
Yeah.
of this is what they've been fed, man, their whole life. Like me, you had to go through. I'm sure I asked you this actually, but like I'm sure you had to go through a lot of pain, and like to get the knowledge you got. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had to go through a lot of pain, like to get the knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get the little bit of. I'm not claiming I don't know a lot, but just to get the little bit of awareness I do got. You know what I mean? It didn't come from. It came from like life, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It didn't come
The
from like
pain
no
to
book,
me.
like, and
Yeah,
what's that?
I was saying to me, the pain was part of the learning process. Because to me, if it wasn't for the pain, like when I think of my lowest point, if I would have never hit that lowest point, I would never have stripped away all the old part of me. Because I was just holding on, even though my life was growing and I was learning new things, I wouldn't let go of the old stuff. Like all this new information I was getting, I still had to match it up with the old version of me. But when my life hit rock bottom, it gave me the chance to cleanse myself of everything old. Like the Bible says, once you cross that threshold, you become as little children. Like you got to relearn everything over again. So that's what that bottom was for me, man. It was a cleanse. It was a stripping. It was like, let me take everything away from you where you at ground zero, where you know nothing else. And now let me pour into you because you won't let this old shit go, man. you know.
Wow.
So man, as hard as it was, I wouldn't change it for nothing because I would have still been trying to mesh two worlds together and make it make sense. And that would have been mass confusion for me, man. You
Yeah.
know.
How do you feel, man? Do you feel like you where you want to be right now, man? Do you feel like you sitting in a good frequency?
Yeah, I am. And one thing I was doing for the longest, I was always saying, like I would think of like a 10-year, 12-year period of my life. where like when I went through this major cleansing and I was coming out of it at a high trajectory, and I got lost in some other stuff, man. And so I look at that 10, 12-year period and I say, you know what? I could have been a lot further. And when I say further, I don't mean financial. I don't know. I just mean spiritually aware. But I was going through this stuff. But at the same time, me going through that tribulation of all that time, I got some nuggets out of that too. So that kind of helped me. Like, for example, like relationships. If I wouldn't have went through a lot of things I've gone through with relationships over the past decade, I wouldn't have the same mentality now to help brothers or to understand women. You know, so I just look at the good of all of it, man. It's all for the good, you know. But yeah, I'm right where I want to be. I'm right where, and I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie at all. 2 years ago, this is where I wanted to be, where I am right now. And in my mind, I'm gonna tell you real talk. In my mind, this is where I wanted to be, and I saw absolutely no way to get here. I said, man, you know what? I said, I don't see no way possible to get there. Like I've tried everything on paper. I said, bro, I can't get there. But I said, man, you know what? It was good because it made me stand 100% on the law. Like you know what? I said, all this stuff I've been learning, I'm putting everything on that. Where either I'm gonna win or I'm gonna be sleeping on the streets. I put that much faith in God, you know what I'm saying, in my creator. And man, and life just did something and things happened that I couldn't have imagined. And this is a lot of things. Is it dark? Am I dark over here, bro?
Nah, you're not too bad. I can see.
I said, what a lot of people do, and this is what I did for the longest. It's like going back to what we were saying earlier. When you try to find that kingdom first, like a lot of people try like one thing people do, man, is when they're trying to create a new version of themselves, they're only trying to create what they know. Like they'll look at all the people around their circle and say, okay, you know what, I see my homeboy making this much money. Okay, he got a nice wife in his life. And you say, okay, well, I want these things too. And you will try to get what you've seen, and then you'll try to navigate ways to get it on how you think you should go. But the thing is, if you already knew how to do it, you would already had it. So you got to release that, man. You got to just go. You got, you know, like when Neville says go to the end. Like I understood that. I understood that going to the end was the creation process. But later in life, I understood that if you don't go to the end, it's actually going to restrict you because you're going to try to you're going to try to say, you know what, this is what I'm trying to achieve, and this is how I'm going to do it. Once you try to say this is how I'm going to do it, it's like, no, bro, you don't know how to do it because you would have already had it if you knew how. So you have to release that, man. You have to release that, man, and just go to that space. Kind of like when a brother said, what do I do in between time? There is no between time. Once you go into that space without ceasing, you come out and it just is. Like I don't care if you're sleeping on the streets and you're just trying to get in an apartment to have a roof over your head, man. Even if you're sleeping on the streets, your energy needs to be like it already is, regardless of what you see around yourself. Because if you're not in that energy, you have to be trying to get it instead of waiting on it to come to you, man. It's one or two small details like that, man, that are game changing for people, man. It's game changing, man. A lot of people just don't, you know.
It's such a small detail, but you're right. You get in your own way. Like you get in your own way when you lack that faith and you try to strike you try to strong arm your reality instead of letting it do what it got to do, man. And it's just like you said, just know, like you know what I'm saying. Yeah. But I feel like it helps having a certain level of awareness. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like you have to kind of grow consciously to even understand like what you know what I'm saying? You had to grow to that point where you really like, it's not like you guessing at it no more. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know how it works.
It's just life now. Somebody was asking me something, and I've been asked this a couple times about and I don't know how they asked that, but I was like, man, I don't know what life would be like without creating my own life now. Like, I don't even know what that would feel like. Because when I get up in the morning, man, even if it's for 5 minutes, I'm sitting down. I haven't cut my lights on. I haven't put no clothes on yet. Haven't checked my phone. And I'll sit in that chair for 5 minutes. And I'm just like, I'm thinking about the schedule on my computer, and I'm like, okay, I got a consultation at this time. Like, it's gonna go like this, and I'm creating it. So, like, I don't know what it will feel like to just get up and just roam the world. You know, that goes back to what Napoleon was saying in Out with the Devil. He was talking about those that don't have definite purpose, like you have no choice but to drift. So when people aren't like saying, you know what, this is what my life is gonna look like, whether it's the next year or the next 24 hours, if they aren't saying that, then they're drifting. They're just kind of like, okay, you know, they're responding to the world instead of creating it. And like, man, I don't even know what that feels like anymore. Like I don't want to know what it feels like. Because that's the definition of drifting, not having that definite purpose. And it could be, like I say, man, a lot of people try to think of the goals in 6 months or a year, but man, I do it every day. Every day I'm creating like a new day. When I get up in the morning, sometimes I do it at night, but every morning before I cut the lights on, man, I'm saying, okay, I see my schedule. And like I thought about, like I knew we were going to do this tonight. I already saw how it was going to play out. I created it in my mind, like this is how life is going to play out. And I can't understand. Like I don't even want to feel what it feels like to not do that. You know what I'm saying? It's like I can't imagine.
You live in a whole new world, man. Like what do you do? Let me ask you this, man. What do you do about distractions?
Man, that's huge. But it took me the longest to identify my distractions, bro. Like for example, like a lot of people have, you know, everybody has their own vices, man. Like a lot of people have, you know, drugs and alcohol and clubs. Like man, I can't stay at the strip club. I can't do this. That was never none of my stuff. I never had issues with that. The only issues I had was really when it came down to women, bro. And it wasn't really like me just having, you know, a whole rotation and all that stuff. It was me choosing women. My major distraction over the last, I'll say, decade was not me entertaining an excess of women. It was me choosing the wrong women. And that's kind of like when I started talking about traumas and all that stuff, because I was like, why do I do this stuff? And I had to just get down to the bottom of my personal distraction. And I was like, man, it was because of what I saw when I was raised and what I was calling my truth. It was like even though I knew what a 5% woman was and how she moved and how she acted and how she conducted herself, my truth was still a different type of woman. So it was almost like if I got with a woman and she wasn't doing this negative, low vibrational stuff, I almost didn't want her. And the fact that it was my truth, that's, you know, and you know, if you get with a low vibrational woman, it's just gonna have you in ebbs and flows of the world, man. And then I just had to say, you know what? Like there's something inside of me that screwed up, bro. I had to, you know, like today on the YouTube channel, I was talking about having that self-talk. And I had to just, you know, drive down the road and say, you know what? Like, Soul, you fucked up. like you messed with some old women, bro. And I was like, that's why your life be doing some shaky stuff. So that's when I had to separate, man. I said, you know, let me reinvent myself. And I just started vibrating higher, just doing certain things, not, you know, and start attracting a different echelon of women, man. So that was my main.
Do you know what you want, man, in a woman?
Oh man, that's yeah.
Huh?
Oh yeah, most definitely, man.
Are you the person that is with that woman? You say you know the woman you want, right?
The type woman.
And
yeah.
Are you? What's that?
You said, do I know the type woman I want?
Yeah, you know the exact woman you want.
Oh yeah.
And are you the person that is with that woman?
What do you mean?
So let's say you were, let's say a woman was walking down the middle of the road, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you saw her, and she had everything that you wanted your woman to be, the 1%, mm-hmm. like everything perfect, right? You know what I'm saying? And then let's say you close your eyes and then you saw she was walking with somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the person she was walking with, are you that person?
Yeah, what I think I understand what you're saying. Of course.
You feel me though?
Of course, because if I see that woman, this is my thing. When you say like me knowing the type of woman I want or qualities and all that stuff, really there's not a certain there's not a certain, there's not, you know, I always say there's boxes to check, and there are boxes to check, of course, but now I'm understanding that the boxes aren't important. Like they aren't as important as I thought they were. What's important is that one, I vibrate as high as I can, like as high as I can. Don't even think about women, just vibrate as high as I can. And then when I look at this woman, she has to be a reflection of me. Like whatever she, you know, whatever qualities she does have and not have, she just needs to be like when I look at her, I need to see myself. If that's answering the question.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like you just answered it perfectly. Like you know what I'm saying.
Like
so you basically saying you just want to reach the highest vibration you can match.
Yeah.
And then attune yourself like a tuning fork to that.
And when I look at her, like she needs to, like, you know, like a lot of times we'll get with people and we'll compromise. It's like when I see, it's like this. I'm not even interested in getting with somebody and saying, okay, well, we're different, you know, compromising. I have no interest in that. I want her to look just like me. I want her to think like me, because if I'm vibrating high and I'm consistent, then I want to attract nothing but that. You know what I'm saying? It's when we get all up and down is when we're like, oh man, this girl was tight shoes, this. Once I believe that once a man vibrates somewhere solid, he will attract nothing but one certain type of woman, man. And I can tell you this, the higher I vibrate, like when I look over the last 3 years of my life, brother, 3 years ago, I wasn't getting nothing but the ratchets and the hood rats and the low vibrational women, man. And to me, I called it good because she might have been thick. She might have been, you know, and I was like, this is what soul needed. You know what I'm saying? I'm keeping it honest. But now, man, it's all about how a woman vibrates, bro. And I ain't gonna lie, 2 or 3 years ago, I was like, man, what, you know. So yeah, man, if I see a woman now, the woman that's gonna be for me, she's gonna look just like me. And I mean look as far, I mean, I'm talking about spiritual. And I'm not saying she's gonna have the exact thing.
You feel like now, because I mean, as we grew up, man, I think 99.9% of the people, like, we are attracted out of our physical, our lust, or like our flesh. Like, you know what I'm saying? We attracted to people like out of our flesh. Like, do you feel like right now you trying to attract somebody out of your highest version of yourself?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Are you comfortable with that? Like, because like a lot of times, man, like you be like, people compromise, and I feel like me and you probably compromise because we like we thinking more for the flesh. Like, you know what I'm saying? We want to feed the flesh. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Man, I'm gonna tell you what happened to me, bro. Like I had like a reset, man. And what happened is I was doing some of course I was going through like a whole, you know, no fap, you know, no sex, no entertaining. It's kind of like just a pause with entertaining a woman. And I was doing that for a spell, and I mixed that with a water fast. I started doing a water fast for some, and bro, it almost like hit a reset button in me, man. I was like, what is it? And this is what I mean when I say reset. Like, you know how when you go out, man, and you see, you know, you go to the mall, you see thick women, you see sisters all over the place. It's like, damn, like she hot, she thick, you know. But it got to the point where, like when I say reset, I could just see a woman, and instead of seeing butt cheeks and brown skin and all this stuff, I could see straight energy. And the fact that I could see her energy, regardless of what her physical features look like, I saw her as extremely sexy. She could be flat, you know, nothing. I was like, that woman is freaking beautiful. I was so attracted to her. So it and I'll tell you what else it did, bro. It also gave me the understanding of what a relationship was supposed to be like. Because like, for 40 plus years of my life, when I thought relationship, I thought X's and O's. I thought, you know, it had to be like this. But once I hit this reset button was hit, man, I saw it completely different. To be honest, I saw the power of a relationship. But see, when I saw the power of a relationship, it also made me realize that, hey, you know what? By you going after all these super thick chicks strictly for that, that's why, you know, the power of a relationship is what was taking you down, because you didn't understand what you were bringing on your team. So now I know how to like to look at women, man, and say, you know what? If you aren't going to put me above cloud nine, I'm not even interested. Like, I'm not even interested in smashing, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you want to vibe, I don't want to smash. I don't want to DM. I don't want to do none of that stuff. It's like, I don't even want to talk to you. And I'm telling you, 2 years ago, I wasn't there, bro. If you were thinking you hopped in a DM, it was like, shoot, catch a flight. You know what I'm saying? Fly to the T.
Not 2 years ago. So not.
Well, a number of years ago. A number
Okay,
of
I'm
years
about to say
ago.
2 years ago you
Nah,
was
I
on
went
this
to.
wavelength.
Nah, I
Go
went
for
to. It was a number of years ago, man. 'Cause to be honest, it had to be more than 5 because I wasn't even in Dallas. I wasn't even in Dallas yet.
Yeah,
So yeah, and I've been
but I
here five or
feel you
six
though,
years.
man. Like it's
It seemed like
sexy.
yesterday though. It seemed like
I
yesterday.
feel you. I feel you, man. It's sexy, man. Like, and I think it's easier to get like how me and you are when we're chasing our purpose. Like now, like our wife right now and is the purpose. Like you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
and
And therefore,
everything.
like, and if a woman or somebody comes into our life and they don't help expand that purpose, like we not
Yeah.
interested.
No,
Like we can't afford
no.
bad energy right now. Like,
It's
you know
like
what I'm
it's like
saying? And especially not
yeah,
just for some, like, whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah. It's almost like what would you be doing in my life if you weren't going toward this purpose? Like I just don't need a pretty face on my team or some. It's like I need somebody that says, you know what, I see where you're going, and I want to add something to that mission. You know what I'm saying? It's like because if you aren't doing that, then you're almost blocking me from going where I'm going. You know, it's like either you're on the ship, it's like either you're on the co-pilot seat, or you behind me, trying to get me to go a different direction, man. It's like it's that sensitive, man. You know.
Yeah. Nah, facts. Yeah, I ain't really. I just want to ask you that question, man. Like if you are you just are right now you on the space where you just kind of working on the development of you, or are you or do you want a co-pilot right now?
Well, this is my thing, and I think every man needs to be in a position where he's happy with himself first, like where he's good flying solo for the rest of his life. Because I think if a man isn't there, then he's going to be actually looking for a woman, and I think when a man is in a state of looking for a woman, then he's taking his eyes off the ultimate prize, right? So I think just by me focusing on my purpose, vibrating high, like it almost sets a barrier around me where certain women can't even come in. Like they won't even make it in just because
I
I'm
love
not
it.
looking. Only a certain type woman can even get through there for me to even catch my eye for a second. But I'll be honest, man, I mean, I'm cool flying solo, but with the right woman, when I find the right one, oh, she coming on the team, bro. Because now I understand. Now I have a role for her. You know what I'm saying? I got I got a responsibility for her. So I'm good flying solo, but when the right one comes through, she on the team, bro. And brothers ask me this all the time, man. I, you know, they'll say talk about, well, is your message gonna change? They're like, well, my message is like it's always changed. It's always evolving. When you look at my videos 3 years ago, man, I was talking about whatever, and I've evolved since then. So like, I'm not gonna sit here. I don't know what
Yeah.
the future will look like.
Let me ask you this,
I'm just
man.
gonna,
What's the let's say what's the root of your message? Like, what's the root of Soul Immortal?
man, the root of right now is, and I'll be honest, it's like, man, like all I want is, and I'll say this: when I'm dead and gone, I want people to say, you know what? Soul's mission was to wake brothers up, to shed light on religion that's leading us the wrong way. Just the way the world works, that's leading us the wrong way, and trying to bridge the gap. Because right now it's like there's a gap between like me and you and brothers that are like 21 years old. Like there's like some data missing there. There's some and I'm telling you, bro, this is the ultimate plan, man. If you read in
They hold a pale horse.
The Holy Pale Horse, the first chapter, man, it's called Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. Bro, that's heavy. It's talking about this stuff right now. It's talking about the ultimate game plan to get us to where we are right now. It's talking about messing religion up. It's talking about messing relationships up. And it's like, man, I'm just trying to bring that back to square one, man. And the thing is, I want maybe to see where it goes, but I just want to do my part, man. I just want to do my part to fix this world, bro.
And so,
Better,
so
leave
you
it better than
saying,
what it
so
was.
you saying Soul Immortal's root is to spread light and truth on
To
on
spread
truth.
awareness, man. My ultimate thing is to really wake people up to let people know who they are mainly. Like when people think of this God and creator and salvation and all that stuff in heaven and earth outside of themselves, I want them to understand that that's all here and all here. Like, because once you get that, everything else is gonna play itself out. So that's the main thing, man. For a man to understand who he is my ultimate goal, bro.
Yeah, let me say this, man. Cause I've been following you, man. So probably, man, shit, it might be 3, 4, 5 years. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like, man, from what I get out of you, man, is a light. Like you like a strong light out here. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like, like people have moths to flames, like moth to lights. I feel like you like this light that are attracting people that's looking for information, looking for data, and looking for new truth. People that's coming out of religion, people that's coming out of these dark places. Like, you know what I'm saying? You seem like just that light that's attracting people that are going like, that's searching, like, you know what I'm saying, that's in pain, that's hurt, that's coming out of relationships, that's coming out of like I said, religion, and like, so that's how I see you, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, shit, when I found you, man, I was like, man, like, I was probably, man, like, I'm always searching, man. I'm like Bobby Hemming, Brother Panic, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all these guys, like, you know what I mean? Wayne Chandler, like, but what you are, man, you are the person that is so relatable, so humble, so down to earth, and so like real. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're not standing on your high horse, man. You like, man, shit, listen, I'm the light, and those that want it, man, come get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that of you, though, bro.
Man, I appreciate that, bro. I mean, that means the world. And I'll be honest, man. Over the last 5 years, 6 years, I don't know what time frame, man. Like this stuff, man, you're talking about, it's consumed me, man. Like I don't know anything outside of this. It's like when me and you get off of here, I'm gonna spend some time with my son, and it's like I'm sitting down, and it's like I've lost interest in everything else. And there's some pros and cons to that, but it's like, man, it's consumed me. And I can look back over my week. I'll look at my calendar, and brother, it's all about. It's like this is my life, man. Like, it's like I don't want anything outside of that. It's like when I die, this is my enjoyment. Me and you chopping right now, or me or a brother calling me saying, hey man, like, how can I get it? That's my life, bro. I don't want to entertain anything outside of that. So going back to a woman. If a woman isn't on that mission, if she's not trying to give that same thing back to the world, she don't fit. If she don't fit in this, she don't fit in my world no more, man. Even my friends, bro. I don't have anybody that I associate with that when we're talking, we ain't talking about this.
Yeah.
I don't have anybody.
Yeah, that's why that's why I love being able to like turn on live and chop it up with like you and Briggs, and like, you know what I mean? I got a couple other homies that are on the same frequency, man. Cause it's shit, like, I don't know about you, man, but like, I don't know. I can't talk about this shit with everybody, man.
No,
like, you know
no. Man, no.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody in this fucking city think I'm crazy as fuck. Like,
yeah.
Dang, I don't really care, because like, I'm good solo. But I know, like, people don't say it, but I know when I'm around, people be like, man, or I know I'll be hearing the whispers behind my back and shit, but like, whatever.
Yeah.
But hey, man, let's answer this dude. Hey, let's answer this dude a question, man, because he keep like, he's not gonna stop, man. Hold up. He said, I'm not gonna spam you, bro. I just really would like to hear you and Soul's respect on my last comment. Hey, hold up, man. I'm about to find it. Hold up. He's serious, man. He's super religified, I think, man. But
he said, I'm not gonna.
He said, have you ever experienced the presence of the Holy Spirit will change your life, man? Let it change your life.
That was his question?
I think, hold up. So have you hold up. I think I got it. Have you experienced the Holy Spirit? I don't think you have, even though you say you were in church for 24 years of your life. I have, and it changed my life. The Spirit will show you the truth. Like, man, it's good for you, bro. Like, if you got the Spirit, man, like, kudos to you, man. Like, live your life, live your dream. We like, man, do your thing. But I'm gonna let you answer it, show.
But when he said the Spirit,
have you had the Holy Spirit?
Yeah, what does he mean exactly, Holy Spirit? Because
listen, you want to join us, man? Join us. Like, pop
on.
You want to ask your question? Join.
Yeah, that's what he need to come on. So we have a full chop session.
Yeah. Just request in, man. Just request in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just hold on. Let me see
Chime
if
in,
this.
brother. Let's chop, man. Let's have a grown, respectable convo.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
healthy,
yeah.
man.
Pop on, and we'll chop it up, man. Yeah, we can add 3 people. Just jump in if you want to ask your question.
Yeah, I think you can have up to 4 people on this thing now, man.
Now I appreciate you, Chic Barber. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta holler at me, but I be hearing people think I'm crap. But I ain't tripping though, man, because I live my good life and I'm thankful, man, and it's whatever. But yeah. But I'm waiting on dude to pop in, man. If you want to ask, yeah, just hit request. Hit request in.
Yeah.
Here, let me try to pop you in. Hold up. I'm a purpose driven. What is it? Purpose driven 515?
Yeah. Cause I think it asks you to join once you come on, but then it don't ask you again. You gotta find some kind of.
I sent it to you. Hey, Chic Barber, what's your real name, man? Do I know you? Ryan Owens, man, I appreciate it. Hey, listen, I appreciate everybody jumping on. I know me and Soul talk about some topics they ain't always discussed and kind of maybe foreign to a lot of people. So anybody that's listening, joining this, and like even tuning into this frequency, man, you drew this into you. Like there's no coincidences that you listen to us right now, and something in your spirit is like, damn, wants to listen. And so you drew this in. Like you could be listening to 1 billion. It's 8 billion people in the world. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it ain't no coincidences you here. But I'm waiting on dude to pop in.
What's up, man? Yeah.
You good, Soul, on time or what?
Oh yeah, I was pretty good, bro.
Okay. Damn, dude. Hey, I sent you the request. Hold up.
I'm just looking at some of these comments, bro.
Yeah, if you want to answer something, if y'all got questions, man, we got a lot of questions too. If you want to tap into some of these questions too, so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot of questions here. You want to
Yeah. I'm trying to look on this other phone, man, but I can't.
Here, let me show you. Let's answer some of these questions until. Can you see it? You can receive questions when batteries are on.
Here you go. Here you come, bro.
Huh? Are you seeing him?
Is this 515?
Yeah. You see
Hold on,
him?
brothers. I'm trying to get some better Wi-Fi. Hold on.
Okay.
What's good, man?
Can y'all hear me?
We hear you perfect.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
How y'all doing?
Man,
Life
we
is
great,
good,
man.
bro. How's it
Appreciate
going,
you.
man?
How you doing?
Man, I'm good, man. You know, I've been a follower of Soul for a minute, you know. But, you know,
Appreciate it,
after
bro.
his recent video, it changed me, you know. It changed the way I looked at him, you know.
Yeah,
For
why
the
is
better,
that?
for the worse.
You can hear me? Hold on. Give me like 1 minute. I'm finna get some better Wi-Fi.
We can hear you fine, bro.
Yeah, I can hear you.
1 minute. I'm pulling up.
Yeah, Graham Fitz said, beware of the man who said, this is the way, and my way is absolute. That's for sure. That's for facts. And just keep in mind, man, everybody's at a different level of development. Everybody's at a different level of consciousness. Everybody's at a different level of, so one word might mean something to one person, and it could be totally different to somebody else. Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times people take things literal that are supposed to be taken allegorical. You know what I'm saying? So that's what happens a lot. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of
whole lot.
like not, you know,
A whole lot, man.
Yeah. So yeah, man. And like me, like I'm the type of person, man, like if you gonna vibe with me, like you don't vibe with me, like
Yeah. It's like, man, like, you know, I ain't trying to just. Hey,
yeah, I
somebody said,
don't need nobody to vibe with me though. Like I don't, like you know
no,
what I'm saying? At
no,
all though. Like you know what I'm saying?
no. That actually drains, man. I remember I was watching it was an old Bobby Hemmett video, man. He was like there's gonna be a point in time where you know, like people trying to help their family and friends, like you gotta pull out of that. Like it ain't for everybody.
Man, listen,
You know.
like yeah, like you gotta let your family be the, like Bobby Hillary be like, man, your family be the worst one. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, him he go in on. I try to keep it real. Him he go in on family. He's like, man,
Man,
that's family, man. You know,
hey,
him is raw, man. I
Bobby
guess
was the
515.
OG, man.
I guess he disconnected.
Do you feel like Bobby was like your like you who was your mentors, man? Who are your like who are
Well,
your
so
elders, man?
I can say this, man. Like I can remember I can remember studying like Napoleon Hill like around 25, 26, 27. Napoleon Hill and Bob Proctor. It was new to me, and I was studying for years. And it was like I was learning. And then when I got ready, I got turned on to Hemet and Neville Goddard at the same time, and broke everything. But it was almost like if I would have heard of them before, I wouldn't have understood it. So it was like I had to go through like some other stuff first to kind of get ready for that heavier stuff, man. But yeah. When I learned about Napoleon, with Neville, Bobby Hemmett, and read James Allen's book, man, it was now my eyes are open, man.
Yeah. Hey, let me have you answer this, man. This dude Dakota Black, you know what I'm saying? Like, he takes this literal, which is cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? He said, Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father except through me. He said, I think that was meant to be taken literally, but that's just my interpretation. All love and respect to you. I appreciate it. Like, I feel like it's literal too, but there's a connotation to how you take it. How do you look at that, so?
Well, to me, it's strictly like when you talk about Jesus. Like anytime we're in the Bible, we look in the Bible and Jesus is kind of telling us how to move. He's telling us about ourselves, not about him. So when the word says no man can go to the Father or God, whatever, except through Jesus, like that's true. That's 100% true. But you have to understand that Christ is your higher self. Like until you go to your higher self, you don't really understand God. Like you don't understand it. Like in this low vibrational, human self, you can't connect to God except through Jesus. But Jesus is not something outside of us. It's our higher self. And Paul demonstrated that. When Paul said that, when Paul went through his transformation, he broke that whole thing down. Matter of fact, he said, Galatians 1. He said, first thing that God did was God showed me the Son inside of myself. And then he showed me that religion. So it was like even Paul was an OG. Paul was a headhunter in his day. Even when Paul with that transition, he said the exact same thing Jesus said. Like you can't get to the Father unless you find that Christ self in your inside of yourself. Napoleon said the same thing and outwitting the devil. He said, man, I was moving a certain way. He said, but it wasn't until that other me came outside of myself, and then I could talk straight to God with that other me. That's what Jesus was saying, man. Like the Trinity exists in everybody. So there was a point in time where I was like, man, the Trinity is not real because I was putting the Trinity outside of myself. But when I studied, I was like, yeah, okay, Jesus is telling us how we're made. Like it's our lower self, which is that painting behind me. Lower self, higher self, and up top is God. But you can't communicate with the most high unless like the Bible said, when two come together, I should be there also. That's what it's talking about. When your lower self meets your higher self, that's when you can talk to God. Besides that, you just listen to whatever pastor and deacon tells you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Paul was saying. Paul said that same thing, man. He's like, when I tapped in, like God showed me the Son inside myself. And then he gave me my own religion. It's crazy, but it's a beautiful thing. But think about and the whole thing about the whole Jesus coming back and Jesus outside of us. I mean, think about how lopsided that's made the world. Oh, here come, bro. There you are.
I'm good now.
What's up, man? What's your name?
My name is Philip, man. I'm from Dallas, Texas, man.
Hey, good to meet you, Philip, man. I appreciate you joining. So you said you've been following Soul for a while, huh?
Yeah, man. I've been following his videos for a while, but, his recent video just turned me off, completely, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if he turned you off, why are you here?
Because I still enjoy his perspective, because in his video, he said a lot of true things. He said a lot of wise things about Paul and how he found Jesus himself, stuff like that.
So what part didn't you agree with? So let's chop on that.
The part where you said that pretty much Jesus isn't God and he's a prophet only and all that stuff. And I don't have much. I read the Bible.
My bad.
But I don't have. You could. I read the Bible, but I don't have too much knowledge, brother. But you know, I know a little bit. I read it, but God, he poured his spirit out on me on a 10-day fast. On a 10-day, he poured his spirit out on me. So anytime somebody from Islam, they try to convert me and stuff like that, you know, a lot of that stuff makes sense. You know, they say if Jesus is God, why don't he know when the Father is going to come back? The time, you know what I'm talking about? When the Father's going to come back down. I couldn't answer it, but I had that one experience with the Holy Spirit. It just changed my life. I can't believe I can't. What y'all saying is it makes sense. I can't believe it because I felt the Holy Spirit in me. You know.
Let's chop, then. Let's chop. Let me ask you this. So how do you think? So I'm assuming you're a Christian, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if let's say I'm a non-believer, man, and I'm on my deathbed, I got hours to live, and you come in my room, I say, brother, I need your help. How do I get to heaven? What do you tell me?
You have to believe that Jesus Christ is Lord. Now he died for your sins.
Okay, good. So let me ask you a question. That's the only way. Okay. That's the only way to get to heaven. If that Jesus Christ died for my sins, right?
Let me ask, can I ask a question, so?
Yeah.
So what do you feel like heaven is?
I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel it is what it is in the Bible. We can't.
So you feel like you gotta die to go to heaven?
Heaven is something that we can't even comprehend, brother. You know,
so you don't feel
we can't even think about it. You can't even imagine it. It's so, you know.
How old are you?
21.
21. Hey, I swear, man, I can't wait to. Go ahead, so I just want to ask you what you thought heaven was.
Because I agree. He says he's a Christian, and he said, you know, the way to get to heaven is believe it. Jesus is Savior. Believe that Jesus died for your sins, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's say for example, you in Dallas, Texas, right? I'm in Dallas, Texas too. Let's say me and you are downtown, right, at the square, and we on the sideline, and we see Jesus talking to the homeless or talking to the non-believers, and we just sitting there scoping them out, right? Now, if you believe that Jesus has to die for you to go to heaven, then you really want this man dead, right?
I saw this in your video.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we needed a perfect sacrifice.
What does that mean?
You said
just answer my question. So for you to go to heaven, the man you are sitting there observing, that's speaking truth. He's telling no lies. You want him dead, right? You got to think about this. The people that wanted Jesus dead were the people that didn't believe. The multitude that followed him, they wanted him to live. So for a person to say that Jesus died for their sins and say that they're a believer, it's impossible. So what you're really saying is you wouldn't go to heaven if it wasn't for the non-believers. Because if it wasn't for the non-believers, they wouldn't have killed them. And that's what Pontius Pilate was saying. He was like, hey, and that's what Jesus was saying. Jesus said this. He said, hold up. I'm sitting here giving y'all the full spiel. And y'all sit there and say y'all follow Abraham. I'm speaking the same message as Abraham. But y'all are sitting there wanting me dead? He said, why do y'all want to kill me? But then people will read that and then turn around and say, well, Jesus died for my sins. It's like if he died for your sins, then you would have been. In other words, let's say this. It's fair to say this. If you would have been the trigger man, if you would have been the one sticking the thorns in the side, would you have done it or not?
Would I have done it?
Yeah, to save society.
Am I a follower of him, or am I one of the unbelievers?
This is what I'm saying. If Jesus was on the cross right in front of you, and you knew that Jesus had to die for the salvation of humanity, would you put the bullet in him or not?
Yes, because I know I would be forgiven.
What?
You got to understand. Because I mean, if it needed to save the world, to save us from damnation, of course I would.
Listen, man, I don't know if I can do this. So, like, this is like some Santa Claus shit right here, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is some Santa Claus. Like, listen,
all I'm saying, brothers, I don't have too much knowledge on the Bible. I read it. I'm still trying to learn, but
Yeah.
I had a supernatural experience. It was better than any drug. I've tried every drug. It's better than any high, any weed, any pills, any liquor I've ever felt in my life. I felt the Holy Spirit in my body. I just felt it. It felt like I was floating in my bed. I was just on the 10th day of my fast. I was praying. Out of nowhere, I just started going crazy and just thanking Jesus. I never felt that in my life.
That's awesome, man. I'm happy for you, man. That's what happens when you fast and pray. Pray. But just understand this, Philip, man. I appreciate you joining. I think you got, like, you a chosen being, man. I feel it and I know it. And just realize, man, that you are not your body. You're not Philip, bro. Like, that's the person you're creating. But your higher self that's aware of you right now is what you had that experience with. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not Mr. Finney. I'm not Derek, man. I'm experiencing this in this third dimension, man. I'm experiencing this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Once you realize that you are not what you've been told you are, you're not this ego version of yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? You are infinite. Like, you are beyond words. Like you said, you don't know what happened because you beyond that, but that is you. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I can't. It's gonna be hard for me to, like.
Let me say this.
You can't talk. It's too many. It's too many layers that he would have to travel.
I agree. But sometimes I just want people to hear what they're saying. Like sister said, how you gonna kill? You gotta understand. Like when people put themselves in that actual scenario, they see it different. Because if you go back and read it, all the ones that were throwing thorns at Jesus, those were the people that's saying, hey, we don't believe the message. So for you to say you'll be the one to put a bullet in them, think about what that's putting you in history, man. Putting you what side of the fence that's putting you. That's all I'm want you to think about, bro.
Yeah, I understand. I appreciate that, and I'm glad I got to talk to you about this. I didn't ever think I was ever going to talk to you because I seen your video. I missed your live, but it throws me off when y'all talk about the universe. You know, y'all.
But it's cool though, man. Like, I'm sure you got a group for you though, man. I'm sure, like I said, man, like they got a lot of like religious people, like TD Jakes. Like I said, man, there's a lot of people that. What's that?
Can I ask a question? No, like so you and Soul, like y'all all for me. You're like I can listen to y'all. I can learn from y'all. I learned a lot from that video. It made me appreciate Paul's scriptures more than the Gospels a little bit, you know, because it feels like I don't want to get into that, but what I really wanted to say, have y'all ever experienced the Holy Spirit? That's all I really want to.
Yeah, we say, but that's what the awakening is. Like that's when you say Holy Spirit, like, and I'm glad you came on because it depends on who's saying that. Because if you go, I can go to a certain church and they talk about Holy Spirit, and if I'm not dancing on pews and doing great stuff, then I don't have Holy Spirit. So really, the Holy Spirit is the awakening. Like when a person just wakes up one day and says, you know what, something is not right. Let me separate myself from the world just so I can get understanding. Like what Paul did.
No, I can't get with that. I just can't.
Then what I'm saying is, when you say Holy Spirit, tell me what it is. Don't just say Holy Spirit. Tell me what it is.
Holy Spirit he's a person. It's a presence. It's God's Spirit. It's God.
Yeah, it's your Christ self. It's your Christ self. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
your Christ self.
When Jesus died, it became in us. That's what I believe. And it's something that when you experience, you can't help but break down and crying. I'm a man's man, but I broke down and cried. I couldn't help but fall to my knees. Like, I don't understand.
But what is the Holy Spirit? What is it? Is a person?
Yeah, it's referred as he's referred as a he in the Bible.
Man, like brother Finney said, there's so many conversations that would have to be had between us getting to what we're trying to get to, because every man
is right in his own mind. Like every man is right in his own mind. So like we will never like we're worlds apart right now. But I appreciate you joining, man. I appreciate
one more thing.
Go ahead.
It's not even my mind, bro. It's not even what I'm thinking. It's not me. It's just something that I experienced. I just like wish that everybody could experience.
But let me say this, man. Let me say this.
It's real.
You right, man. Everything you saying is 100% true.
I just feel like you brothers are so wise because y'all brothers are smart. Y'all are smart. Like, and I just feel like y'all are being deceived by the. Don't let this turn y'all off. I just feel like
I want to hear.
the Bible says in the last days in Revelations that the Antichrist will run rampant in the world, and it will deceive the intellect. It will deceive the wise into thinking, you know, having the spirit of the Antichrist. I'm not trying to turn y'all off. That's just what I've read.
But let me tell you what else the Bible says. If you go to Revelations, it talks about a mass amount of people over several generations that wanted the prophets dead. See, this whole killing of Jesus, this is not brand new. There's a whole legion of people who did that. And it said everybody that killed the prophets for their salvation in their lifetime, they shall drink blood for the rest of their life. Even Jesus was saying, why do you want to kill me? So for a man to say Jesus died for my sins, it's almost like it's hard to get past it. It's like, man, like why would you want to kill? I don't know. But this is the thing. Let me say this part, man. Like when you talk about the Holy Spirit, I believe in the Holy Spirit. But the Holy Spirit is when a man goes from being aware that something is not right and he goes into this place of separation or the silence to get to talk to God directly. Once he wakes up, that's the Holy Spirit. He's just being exposed to his higher self. He's being exposed to Jesus from the first time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
You got a chance to talk to yourself, bro. You got a chance to talk to you. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's what everybody is trying to do. What you experience is what the whole humanity is searching for. Like we going out here trying to get cars and trucks and jewelry and sleep with people. Like we really just searching for what you found. And so like you found that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Hold on to that and keep whatever you want to call it, man, whatever you want to experience, like you there. And I don't know, but as far as me and Soul, like we are on trying to evolve and create our reality and realize that, man, we are that. I am that I am. And that's biblical. I am that I am. And so that's you. You know what I'm saying? Don't think that you fill up, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what they created for you to believe you are. Like, you know what I'm saying? You not that. You are what you found on that 10-day fast, man. So stay with that deity self, man. Like, hang on to that self, because that's gonna guide you, and that's gonna guide you. Like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's all.
I said one more thing. I feel you, bro. I feel what
you're saying. You got one more thing about 20 times.
Okay, one more. I'm sorry. I never thought I'd be able to speak to Soul. I just feel Soul is. I'm not saying. I just feel like Soul is a little bit different person than you. He's been in the church for 24 years, and you know, I just felt like when he asked me what the Holy Spirit was, I'm like, what do you mean with the Holy Spirit? Like, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's hard to believe that you truly never really experienced what I felt, and you were in the church. You were so deep in the church. Your dad was a pastor. I'm pretty sure
you know what?
Your dad catch the Holy Spirit before.
Yeah. You know what?
The Holy Ghost.
I've experienced what you experienced. I've been in church. I've heard pastors say things, and I get this feeling, and I get this feeling, but that's not the Holy Spirit. That was me being, you know, being motivated. I can watch a speech by I can get on YouTube and watch something about motivation and get that same. That was a preacher amping me up, man. That was me tying into God, of course, but the Holy Spirit is that awakening. That Holy Spirit is when you find your higher self.
The Holy Spirit.
That's what the Holy Spirit is. It's your spirit self.
This is the Holy Spirit I'm talking about. It's when you can't control your body. When David was just dancing out. I know you know when David was just dancing out of control and the girls were making fun of him. Do you know what I'm talking about? In the Bible, in the book of David, how when he felt the Holy Spirit, he just started dancing out of control. That's how
I don't believe that's the Holy Spirit. I don't believe.
You just can't.
But to say that's the Holy Spirit, to say that somebody not dancing, they're not experiencing truth.
Not dancing, but just moving. You can't. Sometimes you can't control your body because you just, you know, how be like they just do that sometimes when they feel the Holy Spirit. You know what I'm talking about? That's the Holy Spirit.
I know what you're talking about, but that ain't. That's just shucking and jiving. Because I saw my dad do that for 20 years, man. And I've seen I grew up in the church. My dad would preach, and people would get to jumping around and shouting. That wasn't Holy Spirit. That was being excited about something. That was being motivated. Holy Spirit is calm, man. Holy Spirit is quiet. You know what I'm saying? When you shucking and jiving, jumping on pews, that's. I mean, I'm not saying people aren't in the Spirit, but that's not what it is. People might respond to it like that. The Spirit is awakening, man. That's what the Spirit is, man. It ain't the quietest man in the room could be having the most powerful event going on inside, and he's not saying nothing. But he's being awakened to and you've experienced that. When you went to
your last video, I learned a lot from your last video. Even though I was turned off by the things that I was turned off by. I learned a lot. I feel like there's a power I haven't tapped into. You know, when you spoke about Paul, about Jesus, when he hasn't spoke to man or flesh about this type of stuff. I can't remember what you said, but
Man,
I'm
listen,
gonna watch that video multiple times. But I've learned so much from that video, and I feel like there's a power that I haven't turned on. My bad. I just really like Soul, man.
Nah, that's cool, man. Go holler at Soul on your own time, bro. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
hit
my
me
bad.
DM, bro.
My bad.
Nah, you good,
Yeah, I
man.
appreciate y'all talking to me though, for real.
Yeah, man. You be good, man. I'll holler at you, Philip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, man, and I think this is what I think, and we should have asked Phil how old he was, but
He's 21. He said 21.
Oh yeah, see, when I was 21, I was right there. I was right there. Matter of fact, when I was 21, man, I remember having this exact same conversation with a brother. He was trying to convert me to Islam, and I wasn't against it. We were just kind of going back and forth about, our beliefs, and I was saying exactly what Philip was saying. So it's not that I can't identify with him. I'm like, dude, it's like you're on your way, but there's more to what you're saying. Like there's more evolution to it, man. So I get what he's saying. It's just, it saddens me. It saddens me when people put that energy outside of themselves. It saddens me, bro, because it's like what it's saying is like, man, you haven't even experienced life yet. It's like when I wake up and experience whatever you want to call it, God and all that stuff. I went 20 some, almost 30 years before I even experienced what that was. But just like the Bible says, you can't experience it unless you go through that higher self. And it wasn't until the whole time I was looking for that higher self outside of myself, I was like, I couldn't connect. I couldn't connect with it, man. But once I said, oh, it's in me, but it was like, boom, plug in. So that's what bothers me. It's not really about the whole crucifixion, none of that stuff. It's about once if a person doesn't understand that when anytime you're talking about Jesus, it represents their higher self, they won't get anything else. Nothing else will make sense to them, man. So it's like at that point, if the conversation isn't making sense, then really anything going past that is like, yeah, you're just gonna be spinning your wheels. If you don't understand, if you like that picture back there, man, if you don't understand when God said, when two come together, I am there, it wasn't talking about when you get married to a woman. It was talking about when your higher self meets your lower self. Then you'll be able to see me. Like that's what the Trinity is, man. And that's the ultimate goal. That's what this world is trying to keep people from knowing. Like once man, if people know who they are, it's like, man, no system can shut everybody down. It's like it's over with. Like the world will just collapse and rebuild, man, because it can't survive if everyone knows who they are. But if you're looking for something to descend or something, it doesn't even make sense, bro. It doesn't. Think about this. This is what don't make sense to me. If I was the supreme being, right, and I saw all the people of the land, think about how damaging it is when you say, I'm getting ready to send somebody to this land, and this is what it's going to look like. Don't you? I mean, that's going to be damaging to somebody to say that God came to this world and he looked white skinned, blonde hair. Don't you think a certain people are going to feel like they're more privileged? If he came in and said God was black and God had an afro, don't you think certain people would feel like, oh shit, like, well, why would God choose to look like them and not me? Like, am I less than? Surely the supreme being wouldn't do that. Surely he wouldn't cause division. So that right there lets you know that, man, there's nobody coming back from the clouds. It's all about what's inside of a man. That's the only just thing that a God would do, man, that a creator would do. A creator wouldn't cause division. I wouldn't want to support a creator that caused division. I just wouldn't want to do it, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you though, man. It's sad that I think that's they doing their job, man. Like these systems, this machine, they just doing their job, man. They making people think that something's outside of them, and they waiting, and people are waiting to go to heaven instead of experiencing it right now, raising their frequency, raising their vibration, realizing I am that I am, and they can create any reality they want right now.
Yeah. Like when Jesus said there are some that shall never taste death, that's what he was talking about. He wasn't saying that nobody's not going to die from this world, but he was saying once you tap into that forever, once you tap into that heaven, that eternity energy, Like once you're over there, you will never experience death because you're already in that energy of the afterlife. You're already in the all. If you're in the all, you can't die.
No
You
such
know,
thing as death, man. We just move on to a
there's no
different.
such
Like
thing.
we
No
are
such thing.
spirit, man. That's all we are is. All we are is that spirit that he was talking about. Like that's it. We
No such
not.
thing as death, man. There's
So
no
man,
such thing as
like
death.
you said, man. When I was 21, I was duped, brainwashed. Like man, I was so lost in this shit. So respect to the brother, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So a couple people asked some pretty my girl T Dubber, I said people can't understand. They create their own world. They adapt to the world's world. That's real. I see your point, so, but Jesus is still coming back. Even okay, man. I don't even know if you want to read any of these too, man. You could.
Yeah, I'm trying to scan. But my thing, you know, Jesus, yes, Jesus is coming back. He's coming back to every person individually. Whenever you call upon that spirit, whenever you say, you know what, I don't know what truth is, but it's not what I'm doing right now. Once you get there and you step away just to observe, that's when you're calling Jesus right then. You're calling that Jesus energy. You're looking for that awakening. And once you see that awakening and step into it, that's the resurrection. That's why I never called the book Resurrection. He broke all this down and said, you know what? This is the resurrection, the whole manifestation process. Why would he call it that? Why would he call it that, man? Even in the Bible, when it talks about, you know, the birth, the death, and the resurrection of Jesus, the whole thing is the story of a man's life. It's the story of the three transitions. The awareness, when Jesus was saying, hey, you follow Abraham, but you seek to kill me, the crucifixion in the tomb, and the resurrection. It's like, bro, it's so right there in front of you. But if you've grown up in the church and heard for a certain amount of time, you're looking at it from a different perspective because it's been drilled in you. 2 years old, Sunday school. It's like, this is what it is. This is what it is. So when you get grown and you look at it, you're like, you know what? I've heard this my whole life. This is what it is. But the Bible says, you know, once you step into this awareness, this awakening, you shall become as a little children. You got to learn all this stuff again because everything it's been false. You got to learn everything over again.
You got to unlearn, man. You got to unlearn.
Yeah.
So, man, he going people got to go through, like me and you had to go through a lot of pain, suffering, unnecessarily to get this information. So if we would have been open and receptive and like really had some people that really taught us early, we wouldn't have to go through as much shit as we went through. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, man, somebody said, my girl alive to live and said, one can only meet you as deeply as he's met himself. That's real. Greater is he that is in you that is in the world. Yeah. So yeah, man, I ain't trying to hold you all night, so man. I
thought the sun come up, man. I know you the one.
What's that?
You in that later time zone, man. So I know you.
Oh, okay, that's right. You still, it's only 9:15 your time, huh?
Yes, sir. I'm gonna be up all night. I gotta do some reading, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm good. I can talk all night.
What's your question, Dakota, man? Dakota, what's your question, bro? Like, what's your question? Dakota's serious about getting these questions.
Mm-hmm. And there's a way you can highlight questions, but I don't know how to do it, man.
Man, I'm still learning this shit too.
Yeah, I don't know how people do that.
Hey, don't be open and purpose driven, man. Do your thing, man. Hit me back in 10 years, man.
Yeah.
Come back with that same energy.
Brother, I can't be open. I pray to Jesus and experience something super. What 515 is saying, bro, I know exactly what he's saying. I've done it, man. I prayed to Jesus and worshiped Jesus for years, and I got answers, and I got this. But later on down the road, I understood what I was doing. I was only reaching out to my higher self, and God gave me this Holy Spirit, like he's saying. It's just interpretation. And
hey, Kay, I love you too, bro. And it's good, man. We don't always gotta agree neither. Like me and you probably got some difference of opinion or some things. We ain't always gotta agree. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, you know what I'm saying? It's levels of this shit, man. Like in basketball, man, like it's levels. Like I can't teach a first grader how to do certain moves. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't teach, even a high schooler, you can't teach with certain moves. Like it's levels to everything. And one thing that will get people in trouble if you don't keep your cup empty, man. You gotta always realize you don't know shit. Like you don't know what you don't know. And one thing, I don't know what I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm always learning. I'm always studying. So don't get so caught up in what you think you know. But
The
yeah,
coach
man.
said, "So he said, so do we marry the cougar?"
What'd he say?
I guess he referring to that video when I said, hey, every man should experience a cougar.
All
You
right.
know.
What about? Why we like? I ain't really big on this religion shit right now. So I don't know if
Yeah,
you
we can
want
get
to
on
keep
something else.
talking.
Let's swap gears, man.
What's that?
Let's swap gears. Let's go to
Yeah,
something else.
man. Let's talk about, man. What's up with cause all this, man. People are so. You know how it is. So like, you know what I mean. You
Yeah.
can't change somebody's mind that's in that. When
Nah, it's hard, man.
when somebody's drenched in that, it's like you gotta let them have it, bro. Like you can have
Yeah.
that. You can
Yeah,
have. I don't
and
even know why people are here though. Huh?
I don't think a person in that energy can be changed. I think they have to see life for themselves and want to change themselves. Like I don't think nobody. I think the more you try to say, hey, do this, be like this, it's almost building a bigger wall. They have to see something wrong with this world themselves. I think so. It's really pointless to even talk about it. You know, it's like when you see it, come holler at us. Like well, let's chop. You know,
That's it.
what
When
the
you see it, come holler at us, man. But like, yeah, I ain't trying to like that. That's one thing like I've left and I will never go back to.
yeah, nah,
You know what I
I
mean?
can't imagine.
I don't even like if it weren't for this, I don't even talk to people like that have like that's drenched in that, man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like I don't like, you know what I'm saying? Cause you can't. That's whatever. All right, you want to believe that? Cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what you think about this Corona stuff, man? Like you feel like
Ooh.
yeah, my man said you're a
You know,
little energy
I've been doing.
That's real, man. Go ahead.
I don't know, man. I think that I think that it's a much bigger. Of course, I think it's a much bigger something than we know, than we're aware of. I think a lot of people understand that there's something going on with it that's not really, you know, some. I don't know what the ultimate goal is, but when I think there's going to be an event that happens, and everybody understand why this whole thing came about. I know, I'm not letting nobody put nothing in me, you know, and I don't know if
Man,
that's
you
going.
better not,
And the
boy.
thing
I'm
is,
gonna smack the shit out of you like
now,
you
my thing is, I'm willing to go to jail, or I'm willing to leave the country, or I'm willing to die before I get that shit. So it's like, you know, it's like whatever y'all want to do, go ahead and do it. I'm not playing that game though.
I feel
Y'all
like
can do
people
the
that
whole.
I feel like people that let them like jab them, say like I feel like they just walk around here just like docile. They're gonna be docile.
Yeah, I don't, man. I can't, man. My thing is the fact that they giving out fat checks and giving out barbecue plates and everything for this. Like, man, when the government get this friendly? Like they like I've been here 45 years. I ain't never seen government give something like that away. Man, they give away trips and man, I'm like, man, what's going? Like, y'all ain't never heard of Tuskegee? Y'all ain't never heard of a million other projects up in
Wow.
St. Louis? This was in the 80s. When in the 80s, when in St. Louis, when they went to St. Louis and like, hey, y'all come over here and get this free trial. Come over here, we got barbecues, and just start ejecting people. This thing, you know, everybody dying. This was in the 80s, I believe, man, maybe 70s or 60s, but it was, you know, I'm like, bro, y'all don't remember that stuff? I'm like, nah, I take my chances, man. Like, I'm good.
Nah.
I'm
Like
good, and
I
I don't
mean,
hate on
I
nobody
think.
to get it. I just ain't
But
playing. I ain't playing that
what
game,
I'm
bro.
saying, man, they not talking about heart disease, man. They're not talking about, man,
Yeah,
the Food and Drug Administration passing all these bullshit ass foods. They're not talking about these pharmaceutical drugs killing people. They're not talking
yeah.
about like the air and like this all these other things that's fucking us up. But they
That's a
worry
red
about
flag.
sticking us with a needle to protect us from a disease that's only killing people that's not taking care of themselves.
Yeah, yeah. That's a major red flag. That's a major red
Come
flag.
on, man.
You telling me all the
Only
stuff that's
people that's
killing
getting
us?
fucked up is the people that's not even like it's not healthy. That's eating this garbage food
Yep,
and smoking and
yep,
drinking and you know what I'm saying. So it's
yep.
like, come on, man.
That's a red flag, man. It's like y'all ain't trying to help nobody else with no other situation, but for some reason y'all want to help everybody with this. Like, come on, man. That's major red flag. Major red flag.
man,
They ain't
come
giving out no
on,
free
man.
chemo. They ain't giving out no nothing. But y'all barbecuing for us on the block to get the Rona shot. Okay. Like, all right. I'm gonna
Come
let
on, man. Like
y'all can miss me with all that.
they know what's happening with our DNA. I feel
Yeah.
let me
Yeah.
let me
Yeah,
give
I wanna know.
let me give you my breakdown. So
I wanna know, bro.
hey, so listen. they know what's happening with our DNA right now. Like they know we transitioning from thinking that we these 3D carbon beings to higher awareness, and awareness is like expanding right now. Everybody's like waking up, boom, 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 boom. Like, you know what I'm saying? They like, what the fuck? We can't have people know who they really are, because then our power will be gone. And so we got, and your blood is your life force. Like, you know what I'm saying? Your blood is your life force. So if they can put this nanotechnology in your blood to put you back, all your cells are tiny suns and stars. Like, you know what I'm saying? All we are is a microcosm of the macrocosm. And these higher level beings understand this. Like, you know what I'm saying? So if they can alter our blood, our DNA, our tiny suns and stars, and put them bitches back to sleep, then it'll be another 100, 2,000, 4,000 years before we get to this point again.
That's
you know what I'm saying? I'll be damned if I go back to sleep,
I support that. See, I support that right there, bro. I know it's something along the lines of them trying to suppress our power as a species. They're trying to suppress. So it's like, and then when they start talking about, oh, well, the shot ain't keeping you from getting the Rona, it's like, oh man, y'all lost me for sure right then. Like, what are y'all putting? You know. And see, I've been in a situation, man, where you know, like when I was in the military, and they were putting that anthrax in us, and we didn't have no say so, and we had to take 7 shots of that stuff. I'm like, man, what are y'all putting in me? Oh, it's anthrax. Don't worry about like what, you know. I said, man, never again. I said, never again. While I let nobody. I shouldn't let him do it then. I shouldn't let him do it then. I don't know what that stuff was. I know it changed some stuff up with my diet. I know instantly I could eat certain foods again. But I said, man, when the next come around, you know, and I think it's gonna get worse, man. I know up in New York they're talking about you can't grocery shop, you can't do all this stuff, and I'm like, is this the mark of the beast?
I'm telling you, so like they gonna keep up in the ante, because they like. Boys is really waking up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Our DNA is really waking up. Like, and they know that. And they not going to have control over us. Like, you know what I'm saying? People are just waking up. So they going to be like, man, nigga, you can't go out the house unless you got that passport.
Like, it's really going, man, I'm telling you, that's why I'm like, is this like some kind of mark of the beast stuff? You know? You know, I don't know, bro. I ain't messing with it, though, man. It's like I'm real talk, I'm ready to die behind it.
Man, listen. We ain't.
It's like,
you ready to transition? Because you ain't no such thing as death.
Because I can never die anyway.
Yeah, let's ask some of these questions. So, somebody says, man, what ways to enhance creativity when you hit a roadblock? That's good for you. We'll stay on for another 15 minutes. Fuck it, we just go 2 hours.
Okay. You know what I would say, man? The first thing is try your hardest to identify what's causing that roadblock. Because when a person is in perfect harmony, everything is just flowing. Like if you put a person in the middle of the woods and they're just living their life amongst nature, life is gonna flow. Like something has to give you a roadblock. Like relationship or you know, you around the wrong people, you in a toxic relationship, you know, you got low vibes from your job. So you gotta say, you know what, I'm in a roadblock. The first thing you need to do is turn around and say, let me identify what's throwing my energy off. And you gotta look at every single person, every single, you know, event in your life. And then you'll identify. You say, you know what? When I started messing with Jim Bob, things went low. Or when I started working for, you know, this company, my vibration got low. And then you got to separate yourself from it. You got to kill that. You got to kill that tie from it. You know.
Yeah.
You know, it's as simple as that. Because man, and everybody goes through that. Sometimes I'll go through roadblocks, and it's like where it used to be where I would go through it, and again just try to strong on my way out of it without finding the source of it first. You can't run from the source. You have to turn around and identify and forgive the whole situation, or it's gonna have a bind on you forever, bro. You can't, like I said, you can't outrun it. You can't outrun that, man. You got to sever that tie, but you have to identify it first. You have to identify it.
Yeah.
You know.
I like that, man. I love that. For me, when I feel like I got a creative roadblock, I just know I need to raise my frequency, because I know my highest self is a creative being. You know what I'm saying? So if I can't create, I just know I'm in a low vibration. You know what I'm saying? And so I try to, like, this person, Yay Lotus, said, clean your house, get rid of clutter, go outside in nature. Just try to do anything to raise your frequency. Because as you raise your frequency, man, I feel like I just get more creative when I'm happy, when I'm in a better energy. Like, you know what I'm saying? So So that would be my suggestion, man. If you hit a creative roadblock, food and purpose. What you think? What somebody said, man? What is food? What is food and purpose? What would you get out of that? So
you get food and purpose.
They just said I can't show up because I got these. Said food and purpose. We don't got to answer that. We can go to another one.
Let's scroll down.
Do you? They said somebody said, "Do y'all believe in Jesus?" I don't even want to touch that right now. Just
no, we gotta talk about that.
Just want to say thank you for sharing this information. I appreciate it. How long? Somebody said, "How long have you felt this shift happening?" So, how long has it been since you felt this shift happening?
What with this particular shift, man? Like before, I remember this, man, and I can remember making a post on Instagram, like in November of 2019, and I was talking about, I was like, dude, like the world is changing, like I didn't know this whole Rona stuff was coming, and a lot of people were posting that stuff, so I felt that change. And then when the whole vibe of 2020 hit, but it's like just over the last 30 days, 45 days, it feels like something is coming to an end. It's like whatever this period is, it's not a long period. Like. And the thing is, it's not like the bottom of the world's gonna fall out tomorrow and everybody's gonna wake up and like, oh, dang, this happened. It's gonna be a slow transition. So you're gonna look up one day and you're gonna be mentally imprisoned, and some people aren't. And the ability to go back and get that is gonna be very hard, in my opinion, man. So this thing, it feels like to me it's closing over the next couple of weeks, days, months.
Wow.
Before I don't know, but I just feel like something is closing and entrapping some people in it, man. Just in their mentality. You know, it's like, man, like you still like the world is doing all this stuff and you still think that way? Like how can you do that? Like wake up, you know? That's how I feel, man. Especially when it's people I love, man. Like when it's people I love and they're still speaking like this is the thing. This is the thing. You know how they say this whole new world order? Like it's like I get that, but like the people in this new mindset, it's almost like they have a new language. Like there's new topics of conversation. It's like if you're still talking about the same things that our grandparents and talked about and all this, if you're still in old energy, it's like, man, you about to miss this bus, man, because that world no longer exists. You can't be talking about the same spirituality in this new world. Like like the conversation doesn't even fit in the events today. It's like, man, like the world, like if our spirituality was so solid, we wouldn't have got to this point. And the thing is, I don't think a lot of people understand how bad the point is right now. So you can't still be talking the same old lingo. It's like everybody is expanding right now. It's like a new world. You know, it's a brand new world for light and dark.
Man.
You know what I mean? It's like nobody's the same. Even the dark energy is different.
Man, I feel like the split is like, boo.
Yeah, it's coming hard, bro. It's coming hard, man.
Man, because you can't wake up. Like what's that quote, man? Once your mind is stretched by a new idea, it will never return to its original dimension. And so and once your mind is stretched by this new truth, like you can't go back there no more. But
yeah.
But I feel like, man, they doing such like the machine is trying to do everything it can to keep people sleep, man. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like the people that's waking up is like, oh,
yeah,
we're not going back there no more.
Yeah, I noticed it. So the whole zombie. God dang it.
Hey, so different,
I'm here
man.
for it, bro. I love it, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I'll be with that. He said I'm a whole zombie in these streets. They can't force us. It goes against universal law. My dad literally told my friend, yeah, I don't know. Oh, that's I'm way up high.
Somebody said, because I got questions that people typed in. Somebody said, best way to heal your mind or a good place to start.
Going inside, man. Like, and the thing is, like, I would love to give a more detailed answer. But man, it's like the turning point of any person's life is going inside. And it sounds so rudimentary. It's like, oh, go inside and find your truth. It's not like that. It's like go inside and find everything. Like everything is in there. Everything is in the mind. Like man, it's like anytime, man, it's everything is internal. So to find that peace, you can't find it anywhere else. And it's kind of like what you were talking about earlier, talking about finding the kingdom. The thing is, you have to understand that everybody is searching for this peace. Everybody is searching for it. And the people that can't find it, these are the people that have to have the biggest and the baddest and the shiniest because it's filling that void they're trying, but it's only filling it for a temporary time. It's like as soon as that car starts getting a couple of years on it, as soon as that car hit 100,000 miles, it's like now my energy source, my God is what you were saying. My God is getting old now. Like, so my energy is going down with it. So let me attach to another one. Let me find a new young lady. Let me find this to keep pumping into this empty space in me. When they don't understand, if they go inside and just seek the highest of levels, it's like, oh shit, now my cup literally runneth over. That's what that means. Once you tap into that, it's like your cup runneth over. It gets to the point sometimes where you're like, I don't need anything. Like, I'm like if I get nothing else, I'm good because my cup is full. Like, I can't be any happier than I am now. I can't be any happier. So it's like my cup is full. And when your cup is full, man, you see everything different, man. Even when a person is reaching out for religion so hard, where they have to say, you know what? No, my Jesus is this, or nah, I'm the prophet is. It's like you're still trying to fill that void. Like, so you have to put some kind of presence. You have to attach to something. Like attaching to an external Jesus is no different than attaching to a Mercedes Benz or a big house. It's like you just have to have something to fill that hole. It's like if anything fills that hole besides the source, but you're still going to be hungry. You're still going to have to find and search. I don't have to search for anything now. It's all around me, man. I'm done searching. I'm not done learning because in that everything is so much knowledge. It's infinite knowledge. But I don't have to look no more because I'm in it. There's no more searching. I'm in it now. So all I have to do is just completely like them old telephone operator ladies in the old 60s, how you plug in a different. That's all I'm doing now. Like I got the whole board in front of me. I've tapped into the ultimate. I've tapped into God. So now I just got to switch. I just do my switchboard all day, man. Like what I want to learn now, what I want to experience. There's no more searching. And when people are searching, that's when they're lost. That's when they're like, oh, well, I got to have this thing, or I got to have this part of my religion got to be this. Paul said, and even the Bible, it says that once a man taps in, he has his own religion. You can't put a name on truth. It has no name. And to be honest, God has no name. We say God, we say all this stuff. I like to say source for me because I hate identifying. For one, I hate identifying a gender to that being. And when you say, really, when people say God, they're really talking about light energy. And I'm not going to dig deep into that because I want to cover that heavy in another project. They're really, you ever heard the term children of a lesser God? It's because see, some people think that light energy is all you're supposed to be in. Dark energy is supposed to be there too, man. Like I was talking to a young lady, she was like a healer, and she was like, "You got to kill those demons." I'm like, "Hell no! You want to kill those demons? Those demons have to be there." Even the Bible says there's a time to kill. There's a time to do all this stuff. So that dark energy has to be present. It's all about balance. But when a person says, "Oh, I need to go toward God," they're talking about all light. And that's dangerous. That's very dangerous because you got to think about this. You got to understand this. People don't understand how slavery really took place. Slavery took place by removing dark energy from a people. When you put people in a mindset of, "Oh, no, just forgive everybody. Oh, God, thank you." You're removing their defense mechanism. You know what I'm saying? By telling them, no, darkness is evil and it's bad, but they're operating in it. It's like, bro, you've been stripped of your balance. So really, when I say God, it's really a lot of people are referring to light energy and calling dark energy bad, when really God is the balance of both and is above that. It's the balance of dark and light, man. Because without that dark, brother, you're a victim to this society. You're a victim to it, man. Dark energy has to be present, man. It's just like you don't want an extreme level of darkness, just like you don't want an extreme level of light. Being extremely on the light end is just as bad as being extremely dark. It's just as bad, man. It's just as bad, bro. And a lot of people teach that light is the only way, and people are stripping your defense mechanism. That's why nobody's standing up to the entity that be, because they're like, oh no, forgive and love and God and love. It's like, no, at some point in time, you got to turn around and say, you know what, no, like this is bullshit. Like we're not taking this no more. And when they take that away from you, brother, you gone. You are gone. You just a sheep floating around talking love. And that's not healthy. That's not even biblical, man. I remember Jesus went up in some kind of event one day smashing tables. You know what I'm saying? But I think he went to a church and there was stuff. He went up there just like, no, like I'm causing hell up in here. I'm flipping tables over because it ain't right. And if that darkness is not in me, then I can't do what I need to do. You know, it has to be present, bro. That darkness has to be present. And it took me the longest to understand it. It took me forever, bro.
That's interesting, man. I love to learn more about that. Like, you know what I'm saying? You said you're going to do a YouTube on that or what?
No, that's actually in the book. It's actually in the book, man. Talk about that.
Okay.
You know,
yeah. When's that book coming out? We talked about that last time.
Yeah, man. I've been on that for a long time, but I want to be done by this month. So hopefully edited by
rush,
September.
Man. I didn't know if you had a projected date or what. I was just curious.
Yeah, I really want it out by September. I really want it out by September, man. And I'm gonna talk about all that, bro.
Yeah,
and you know what, man? I started writing it a while back, but it was like I still had to experience a few things to understand. Like I was still going through it, like you know, I hit a certain point and I want to understand it, and I had to go through some life events to say, okay, I understand it now, man. Like I get it now. You know, so you know.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Let me see if we got anything else here. We got a lot of people asking questions here. If you got something that you want to somebody said, what are your tips for life in general? I said, man.
Love. I would say love, man. Like and love? I know, man, I would say love, bro. Love is everything, man. Like and I would read that in certain books growing up, like love thy neighbor and love. And I'll say why. I'll tell you why love is important. Because once you understand that we are all one energy, like we're all one energy. We may look different, we may be different genders, we may be different races, we may come from different countries, but once you understand that we're all one energy, part of one pool, then it makes sense when it says, when it talks about being judged and all that stuff, it says, you know what? You being judged is based on what you did in your life. Like when you saw me on the street homeless, like you didn't even feed me. When you saw me in prison, you didn't come see me. When you saw this, you didn't help me out. And the reason is, it's like what it's saying is what you were doing was treating yourself that way because that was you. That was a version of you. So when a person gets in a place of love, man, all those differences, man, fall away. Like you know, race and differences, man. It's like once that's gone, brother, man, you can see the world for what it is, man. And once you live in an energy of love, man, that's everything, bro. It's everything, man. It's everything.
Yeah. I think self-love is everything, man. Like true self-love, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's at the end of the day, man, like each and every one of us is creating our own reality, you know what I'm saying, from how we feel now, and only now exists. Like, you know what I'm saying? Only now will always exist. And so as you love yourself and as you raise your frequency, like you're going to attract what you are each and every point. Like, you know what I'm saying? I attracted soul into my life because I was able to reach a certain frequency. Like, you know what I'm saying? So your tribe, your vibe attracts your tribe. You guys, everybody listen to us, created this experience. Like, you know what I'm saying? We all are creating as we go. Like, you know what I'm saying? So so self-love, man, self-love, man, and just the basics, man. Some people try to get so like out there. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like just like, man, cleaning your room, man, making your bed, like, you know what I'm saying, taking care, like being grateful, like, you know what I'm saying, exercising, doing some deep breathing, getting out in nature, like realizing like you don't need a lot, man, to be content and happy, like, you know what I'm saying. So I would say, man, if I were to say any tip, man, like be simple, simplify life, and just be grateful and realize, man, you don't know shit. Like, you don't know nothing. Like,
exactly, bro.
You don't know nothing, man. The state, like everything is just a thought and an opinion. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't nobody know nothing. All we are just big ass opinions running around here. Like, you know what I'm saying? So So yeah, man, that would be my tip, man. Be simple, minimize, like be a minimalist, man. Just like, you know what I'm saying?
But you have an idea, man. So my son got 4 more years left of school, right? And I just know that when he leaves, bro, I know I'm going. I'm selling everything I have. Like once he's after school and he's set up, I'm selling. It's like it's almost like I'm frustrated with things now, man. You put me in 4 walls, man. You give me a couple of books, give me some, put me by a beach, or put me in the middle of the woods, and man, I'm content, bro. It's almost like and I still have things I want to achieve, and of course. But man, the older I get and the more I tap into knowledge, the more I resist a lot of that stuff, man. Like, you know, there's a lot of stuff that I could go out and buy that I don't want to get because I know the energy associated with it. It's like if I go get, you know, XYZ, then it's gonna take so much of my energy to maintain XYZ. Like physical things are always pulling from energy, always. Even like going back to what's my guy I used to watch, Alex Becker, had the big mansion, had the Lambo, multi-millionaire. Affording these things wasn't an issue. And when he got rid of everything, he said, man, the thing is, it wasn't that I could afford it. I could afford it 10 times over. It was constantly pulling from my energy that I wanted to do something with something else. And when I heard him say that, I was like, that's that feeling, bro. That feeling of something pulling from me. And the thing is, man, I don't want anything pulling from me in life. Like the older I get, the more I just want to be in 4 walls and be in the middle of the woods and just like to myself. Like that's where my life is going. Like as long as I can get to a place where I got a Wi-Fi in the next 5 years, brother, I'm gonna be living probably in the middle of the woods or maybe on a beach or very isolated. Very isolated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but I no longer and every day, every year it gets to the point where I no longer desire these things, man. Like I would much rather take a trip and experience Egypt or Barbados and experience other cultures. Like that's what life is to me, man. Experiences. Things weigh you down, bro. And I have a lot of things now. You know, I mean, you know, things like, you know, like me and my son in his house. Like I don't need all this stuff. But you know, but I want to be in this situation because I'm raising a son, and you know, I want to. But bro, I don't even desire any of this stuff, man.
I think our egos had to experience it. You know what I mean? I think our egos had to, like, I had to get this truck and I had to get these jewels and I had to get. I think our egos has to go through that phase of awakening, and then once you realize, man, like, you know what I mean? Even with like chasing girls or doing sex and stuff like that, I think our egos have to go through it, experience it, and evolve out of, and realize, man, like, you know what I'm saying? We don't, like, that's not feeding our spirit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, in the flesh, like in the Bible said, man, the spirit is quick and the flesh profiteth nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so we realizing, man, like that flesh is not.
Yeah. But I agree. People having the kind of like the I guess I was on a live. No, it was in the Power Circle, man. And I was like, you know, I said it's gonna be hard for these young guys, 20, like when they talk about they want to get all this stuff and homes and cars and all this. It's hard to tell them brothers that, hey man, that ain't what you want.
It's hard
if they haven't experienced it, because they want to experience it. You know what I'm saying? It's
like we experienced it, man.
Yeah. So now it's like, okay, now I experienced it, and it's fun and it's good, but it's like, it don't bring me peace. And the more I live, the more all I want is peace. All I want is peace. You know, that's all I desire is peace. And I know that now getting peace getting things don't give me now I will say this. Getting things give me reliability. I mean, I like having a new vehicle, a good enough vehicle. I don't have to worry about it breaking. You know, I'm not crazy. I want dependable stuff, but I ain't trying to stun on nobody. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know,
you just want it because you're like, your spirit might want it. And it's a fun game, man. It's a fun game to play. Like, we just playing a game, we living a dream. So
because that's what life is.
It's like, no. What's that?
Like that's what life is, experiencing. And if we're creators, then it's like, why wouldn't we create? Why, you know, like there's nothing wrong with getting the Lambos and all that stuff and having and you know, like there's nothing wrong with that, man. It's all
you can
relative.
Attach yourself to it. You just don't. The thing about it is, you just don't want to attach yourself to none of that. Like, you know what I'm
exactly. You don't want to use it to fulfill you.
What's that?
Yeah, you don't want. Yeah, exactly. Just the experience. You don't want to use it as your fuel or to fulfill that void. You know, that's the thing. If it's filling that void, it's like, or if you're getting it just to you know, to
Puff your
compare
chest
yourself
out.
to the brother down the street. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And that's I'm sure we all do it, man. We had to go through it, but like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And
well,
we'll continue. I mean, you know, we ain't nobody perfect, man.
nah,
I
like I
mean,
said, man, me and you got a long way to go, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
woo,
Hopefully, like,
that's
you know
a
what I'm saying?
long way, bro.
They say if you look back at your life 6 months ago and you not embarrassed, you ain't growing
Yeah,
fast enough. Like, you
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah. I agree with that, man. Because I look back and I'm like, why, God? Like, why did I do that, man? Why did I move like that? Like, why? Like, I don't even want to think about it.
Yeah, so man, we got a
Yeah,
long way to go.
man.
Hey, but so I'm gonna let you go, man. You know I gotta ask you this. You my dude, right? So I'm gonna ask you five. I need 5 things that you're grateful for, man. But you can't say health and you can't say family.
Ooh, I will say, man, I'm grateful for you, brother. One,
I
because
appreciate that.
me and you, we chop, man. I really can count on one hand on how many brothers that I can chop. Like, you know, like. And me and you, I think we're very open on this platform. I think we go a little deeper when it's just you and I.
True.
But I'm grateful for that, man. It's like, you know, some iron sharpening iron, man. You know, so I'm grateful for that, man. I'm also grateful for. I'll be honest, man. I'm grateful for like since I've raised my vibration, and I'll say within the last 6 months or a year, I've had some good people come into my life, man. Like just high vibrational people. And I know a lot of people talk about. I know a lot of people talk about, oh, well, men and women can't be like friends, but I know some sisters that vibrate high, that me and them vibrate on a platonic, like they just vibrate high, you know. And I'm grateful for them, man, because you know, like a lot of brothers think that when you're talking about, you know, elevating off of feminine energy, that it has to be a romantic type, sexual type energy. It's like, no, brother, I got some female friends that we're exchanging energy, and it's like, brother, I'm evolving from that, man. So I'm grateful for them. Uh,
It's real.
I'm grateful for I'm grateful for I'm grateful for the I'm grateful for the creation process.
Mm.
Because 2 years ago I wanted to be where I am right now, but brother, I said there is no way possible I can go from A to Z. In you know, I said I didn't see a way, but I said, you know what, man, I'm gonna put all my trust in my Creator, put all my trust in the laws that are governing this world, and I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do. I'm gonna be obedient in the law, and things panned out when I couldn't even see it happening, bro. So I'm thankful for that. Uh, Fourth, man, I'm thankful for whatever this is in me that's that's suppressing the ways of this world. Like kind of like the fact that like, and I still want to achieve things, man. But the fact that when I think about my ultimate happiness, ultimate happiness to me, man, looks like owning a backpack, owning a reliable vehicle that can get me across the country, and some good walking shoes to do some hiking, bro. Like that's literally all I need, man. Like I need nothing more to that. And if I have a companion, if I have a woman to support that and can move in that direction and continue to help me change lives and inspire people, whatever. Like that's all I need, man. And I'm grateful for that because some time ago it wasn't that. I wanted everything flashy, even if it was for myself. Like I never get things to try to stunt now, but it's like, man, I was still trying to get some kind of fulfillment out of that, man. So I'm grateful for that. And last, man, I would say, man, I'm grateful for technology, man. And I'll tell you why. Because when I was 21, like the brother that was on here earlier, it wasn't nobody outside of the four walls of my church to go to, you know. But now anybody can get online and talk to somebody clean on the other side of the planet and talk face to face and get information. Even if we don't agree, it can at least unlock some doors that we had in our minds and get us to thinking. So technology, you know, as much as we can say social media is bad and too much of this and video games, it can be bad, but there's some pros to it too. So I'm thankful for that, bro.
Wow, man, I appreciate that, man. Hey, somebody said they thank for YouTube. But yeah, man, I'm with you with that feminine energy, man. Yeah, it don't always have to be romantic, man. You can
Nah,
vibe with some women, man, and use that energy to kind of enhance your vision. So, man,
yeah,
that's so true, man. I appreciate you, Soul, man. Shout out to everybody that joined us. I know this is a long live. Like, you know what I'm saying? Me and Soul probably could go another 2 hours and still be
2 days, bro.
moving. Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
2 days.
So, man, hey, so I love you, man. You my brother, man.
Love you too, bro.
We ride or die, man. We gonna keep going.
Man.
Keep doing this thing out here, man. Like, man,
yeah,
shout out to AK,
too, bro.
E. Cotty, you know what I'm saying? T. Dubber, Force Boy, Martin, all y'all, man. Everybody, Graham Fit, you my dude, man. You want freedom over everything, for sure. Yeah. Hey, I appreciate everybody jumping on tonight, vibing out with us, like helping us out with this energy. Alive to living just bought a badge from me. I appreciate that. That's love.
Nice.
That's my first badge of the day. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, yay, Lotus. Terrible. I don't know what that means. But I appreciate you. AK, we're gonna talk about that, your dunks and your hops in a minute though. You know what I mean? Me and Soul we had to dig deep a little bit today. But man, Soul, I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? From the bottom of my heart, man. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep doing this thing, man. But I'll holler at you, bro.
All right, take care, bro.
Yes, sir.